got people in Aurora.
Yeah, I'm going to
say it again. We've got criminal gangs in Aurora that are torturing people.
For God's sake, what kind of mayor said something like that?
Instead of going after the criminals,
this guy saying,
"Oh, we're not going to let ICE in." You're a nut job, Mike. You're a nut job, buddy. I don't even understand where you're coming from. Then that wino, Mike Kaufman, he's about as liberal as they get.
What's his problem?
I remember at the Trump rally the night of it because Trump talked about the Venezuelan gang.
What does he say?
Oh, no, there's nothing going on in those apartments.
He denied it.
And I used to be a build an apartment building in Aurora. I would be a part.
It was crazy.
He came out and said, they're talking about one or two people, they're overblowing it. Don't believe your lying eyes. When they show video all over the country of people with machine guns basically walking around with assault rifles, walking around this apartment complex giving people the shakedown.
Tying people up and pulling their fingernails off.
That's
unbelievable, Bo. When I read that the other day, they stabbed somebody. Then they pulled people's fingernails off, torturing them.
It's
absolutely pathetic what this state has become under Polis. And I'm sorry to bitch every morning about it, but I'm about sick and tired of it. I love Colorado, and I wanted to see it do better. And if you threw Denver and Aurora out of the situation, the damn state's pretty cool.
It'd be great. It'd be a great state.
Douglas County rocks. You get out into Weld County. You know what? There might be some pretty shisty businesses down there. But, in general, the people are good. But I digress. The other thing I got to throw in, then I promise I'll get to the phones. This show's about helping you, but if I don't vent, I build up too much animosity. Maybe that's a good word. 303-713-8255. Georgia Court of Appeals disqualified Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis. She's the one that was banging, yeah, I said it, banging the guy she was paying left and right to go after Trump. Another one of those, and it's thrown out once again. Another election interference case finally got to the Supreme Court, or not Supreme Court, but got to the District Court of Appeals there, and they tossed it. It'll probably go to the state Supreme Court if she wants to fight it, but, that's it. It's not literally tossed, but the bottom line is she can't do anything, and it's a travesty what people have done, and I think when Trump gets in office, we're going to find out a lot more, and I mean a lot more of what was going on in the last 4 years. And I hate to say it, I think it's worse than we ever thought. I think it is so bad, we're just going to have no idea when we hear the truth, and it's just going to be that way. Now, we've got this update. Explain this one to me. I've got Gary on. Hey, Gary, you called in. You had a problem with One Source Heating. Is that correct?
Yes, it's actually called One Source Home Service.
One Source Home Service. What was the problem? Recap it real quick for us.
Well, they sold me a motor that didn't need to be done
for your furnace.
They charged me $3,000. Yeah.
So a blower motor, Bo, for the furnace.
Yeah, it's actually it's a Goodman furnace, 80%, and they installed an inducer blower, and the cost of the job, including the motor, was $3,200. Now, the crux of this, I thought it was really high price, but the problem is that Gary did not need the inducer blower.
What do you mean he didn't need it? How do we know he didn't need it?
Because Gary was able to get the old part back. He went to an authorized motor shop, which I've dealt with over the years. They did a CFM and amp test on the motor, and there was absolutely nothing wrong.
Well, hold on. I'm a little lost here. Gary, when you first called up, what was the problem? Why did you call these people?
Why did I call the One Source?
Yeah, why did you call them to begin with?
It stopped working.
Okay.
And it turned out to be a little.
It was a pressure switch.
Part.
So let me understand this. So they came out. They said it was the motor. They charged him for the motor. Then it still didn't work. Then they went back to him on the same visit and sold him the pressure switch that did fix it?
I believe it was on the same visit. Right, Gary? They installed the inducer blower and an expensive pressure switch.
Yes, they put the pressure in switch first. They told me the motor was perfect. And then they came back upstairs and said, well, your motor, I was wrong. Your motor's blowing. You need a new motor. So that's how I got suckered into it.
And how much was that add-on? Are they saying it was leaking? Did it have a little bit of, oil around it,
No.
Bo?
No, they just said the motor was, the inducer
So
motor was
you're
defective.
So, Gary, you're just outright saying they totally lied to you. You didn't need the motor. And how we know this is when they put the switch in, the furnace started working.
He never turned it on when he put that first little doohickey on. He never turned it on. He just came upstairs and said, you need a new motor. He goes, I'm sorry, I thought...
But then you took the old motor. Did you have it the whole time, or did you go get it, or what?
No, I had to pull tooth and nail to get it.
So you went and got the motor, and then you had it checked at some place that Bo said.
Yes, an authorized motor shop.
Yes.
And what did they say? They said there's no problem with it?
They told me there's absolutely nothing wrong with this motor.
They did a complete test on it.
But the furnace never ran with that motor in it after that switch went out. Is that correct?
Well, we never turned the heater on. The heater stopped working, and when they came out and put that first little part, and all this happened within the first 20 minutes. When they put that piece on there, he tested everything, said everything's fine, motor's fine, everything. When he put that one piece in, he never turned the heater on. So he just came upstairs and said, the motor's blowing. I'm sorry.
I got you. And then, Bo, when you called over to One Source, and what is it called again? One Source
It's
what?
called, we got to make sure we have it right. It's
Yeah, because I've heard of a
Source.
couple of those.
Yeah, there's several companies in the Springs that use this name, the same name, but this one is One Source Home Services on 3740 Enter Park Drive.
In Colorado Springs. One Source Home Services. Okay, I'm looking
Now-
at them right here.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so what this... I called 4 times. They've never called me back. I was very diplomatic. I told them the whole story each time that they installed this inducer blower. There was absolutely nothing wrong with it.
And you still haven't heard from them.
No, and we're not looking for a refund. I mean, Gary had no heat. They did provide a service.
Yeah, of course.
They replaced the switch.
They just want to return this this part.
All we're looking for, I asked diplomatically if they could just take $1,000 off the bill.
How much did they charge them?
They charged them approximately $3,200.
For the whole job. So how much is that one switch?
Well, it was all included, but the switch cost is approximately $30.
So the switch costs $30. Yeah, but I don't want to get into the labor aspect. People got to make money. But if they charged them $3,200, they didn't even need the motor. That's crazy, and we're sure of that. You know
guarantee
this.
that.
Not just from this caller, you know it.
I would quit over this one. That inducer motor is perfectly fine.
And they just sold him one.
They just sold him one.
And then they
took
never
advantage.
returned your call.
No, 4 times. They never returned. And as far as they took a...
Have they reached out to you at all, Gary?
No, nothing.
You know, this is BS, man. This is total BS. What phone number do you have for these guys? Here's what I would like. No, actually, I want to do this 2 ways. One, Kelly, I want you to try to reach out. We'll get you the phone number as soon as we go to break. If they don't want to come on the air and talk about it, I'm going to ask the listeners to do something because I'm getting sick and tired of stuff like this. I believe Bo. He was in that business forever. He sent that motor, and they're the ones that provided it, One Source, right? So they said, here's your motor.
Yeah, Gary went to the... I was surprised they gave it back to him. He went to the truck, and the technician gave him the old motor
Just
back.
gave it to him.
Yeah.
And Gary, you haven't told you? Did you talk to him at that point and say, you know, have you talked to him at all? They won't call you back either.
I talked to him one time, me and my son, and
After the fact, and what did they say, sir?
he offered me $1,000 worth of services to come up for the next year.
Yeah, but what did he say? That's something. But hold on, what did he say about the motor being in great condition when you told him that?
He just put his head down and shook his head, and he told me and my son, I'm sorry. He goes, I know there's something wrong there. I'll get back with you. I turned down the offer of $1,000.
And the offer was $1,000 credit towards future work.
Right, but why would I? Yeah.
Yeah,
And
of course.
also,
Why would you call them back out? It's ridiculous.
He never wants to call them, and neither should I think the people in Colorado Springs call
So
this
we
company.
generally don't get involved in pricing, but my God, $3,200. Think about this. $3,200 for a wholesale price of a switch. That's $30. How hard is that to swap out on that Goodman? Just roughly an hour, a half hour? What are we talking?
Maybe 15, 20 minutes.
15, 20 minutes. $3,200, and they had to, of course, get extra. If they even charged them $800 or $1,000 for that, I wouldn't even be mad. I honest to God wouldn't, and people listening are like, well, that would be a ripoff. Well, I'll tell you what. People have insurance, they have employees, they have health care, they have all this stuff. I get it. But $3,200 and sell him something he doesn't need and then offer him $1,000 credit towards future work is insane. Kelly, see if we can get these clowns on the phone. I'd love to hear from them.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap?
Casting live.
But yeah, she probably needs whatever number you're using.
So I would like to get in touch with a sales manager or a PR manager or the owner of your company, if that's possible. Okay, then how do you transfer people to the offices that you guys...
Man, that is some get up there. Red Rocks Roof and Solar. What I love about Brooke and the gang at Red Rocks is anything you need to do with solar, whether you need yours repaired, you need a new system for your home, you need a new system for your business, she can do it. And they do everything in-house, including the service, the sales. And she can help you find government grants to offset big time pricing on commercial projects. Sometimes up to 100% of the project can be covered. But anything solar, I want you to check them out. RedRocksRS.com. That's RedRocksRS.com. The Art of Granite. Mitch Floria has been in our house so many times. We love what he does. He has redone our countertops all around the house. They look beautiful. His pricing is so competitive. And what I really like is how he can give you a bid right over the phone. Simple as that. Take a couple pictures, call him up, send them to him, say, hey, I want granite, I want this, I want new cabinets. He'll give you a bid right over the phone. That's how confident they are in their pricing. Check him out at Red Rocks, check him out at theartofgranite.com. That's theartofgranite.com. Denver Regen. Man, you want to get that new weight loss medication everybody's talking about? You're talking losing up to 30% of your body mass in 3 months. We know people in this building that are on it right now, and it's absolutely remarkable how great they look. I want you to check it out. It's only $295 a month. That includes everything. The doctor, the medication each month. It includes everything. No long-term commitments, only $295 a month. Check them out at denverregen.com. That's denverregen.com.
Hey, Henry, I we're on your social media. Were you out of the country again?
I was in Colombia.
Wow, Colombia.
Yeah, it was pretty intense.
You've been there more than once, haven't you?
I have not.
Oh, that was your first
once,
time?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Loved it, huh?
Just hung up on me.
Isn't that the cocaine capital?
Yeah, it's
Because I'm not booking an appointment.
Didn't buy any of it.
I didn't buy any of it.
Is it readily available?
Very.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Is it legal there?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
But they don't care.
How was the food?
Did we get the YouTube? Was it up or not?
It's
Yeah, Bo, I
Do you go
called
out
this
there
number.
for
Yeah.
bicycling and
Can you hear me?
Is that kind of your
Bo
deal?
can't. Go ahead.
Travel?
Well, we rented a couple motorcycles.
Okay, I
Go
saw
ahead.
that.
Kelly, I can hear you. What's going on,
It just
man?
made the whole thing a lot better. We were
So
able to ride.
basically, because I wasn't booking an appointment, they hung up on me.
Okay, great.
The food is so
Do they
much
actually
cheaper
do
than
it,
here, so we would just eat it like
That's
a super
nice.
nice restaurant.
And the number that Bo gave me is the same number I called.
Okay.
Did you go with friends or your dad?
My buddy,
Yeah, cool. Colombia. How's the weather? Was it nice?
You know, it's not super warm there. You think it would be like in the southern hemisphere, but it's just by the equator,
Yeah,
so
I don't
it's
know.
more neutral. It was kind of chilly, actually. It rained a couple times too. So
Are the people cool?
yeah, being blonde, they told me that I was gonna you would get a lot of pictures taken of you. They stare a lot.
They stare a lot.
If you're not, because everyone there has just really dark hair.
Kelly, who's on
brown
two?
eyes. So
I'm
if they
getting
see
there.
somebody who's like white and blonde hair, it's just like this I don't even know what that is.
Good morning. Thanks so much for calling the Tom Martino Show. How can I help you?
You're kind of a world traveler. You've been lucky enough to go all around the world, haven't you?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's cool.
I cannot
Thank you.
understand you. I don't know what's going on with our connection.
I think he is.
Perhaps
Is he in prison here?
I don't keep up with the.
Another guy.
this is the Tom Martino Show, correct?
Well, why did you go to Colombia?
Why not?
Okay,
I've
just
been
why not?
a lot of Central America, and that
Were you nervous at all or not?
Yeah, I would be a little
I
scared.
mean, it wasn't like that bad.
What do they call that? The necktie?
The what?
The Colombian necktie?
Yes, a Colombian necktie.
You
What
hear
is-
gunfire here occasionally, but
Well, you hear that everywhere, though.
Colombia,
You hear that in Denver.
Chicago.
My only association with Colombia from the movies is cocaine and kidnapping.
Scarface, baby.
And Pablo Escobar.
Love the Scarface.
So when I saw your social media, I was like, wow, you look like you're having some good food and, yeah, riding around on a motorcycle. Looks fun.
Yeah, it was really fun.
What was the best thing you ate there?
Oh man, I wish I could say some empanadas or something like that, but like
Who'd you go with, anyhow?
my friend from school,
Cool.
Sebastian, yeah. But they had like this. Oh, they had this guacamole. It was incredible.
Really?
Guacamole.
Yeah,
Like,
I went to
leveled up
Colombia
from
for the
any
guac.
guacamole
Yeah.
here?
so good.
I
Oh,
went
my
for
God.
the cocaine.
So good. What?
I said I went for the cocaine. Henry went for the guacamole.
Yeah. Short ribs. Yeah, it was real good.
Short rib.
10 seconds, buddy.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
All right, 303-713-8255. I know Kelly talked to somebody over at OneSource, and I want to make sure I get that phone number right. Bo, what is the phone number at OneSource? The correct OneSource in Colorado Springs. And by the way, it was called OneSource. Let's give the exact name out. People,
It's,
they're in my opinion, they're jerks. Total
Yeah,
jerks.
let's get the name exactly right. It's OneSource
Yep.
Home Services.
OneSource
Yes.
Home Services. Yep.
And their phone number is 719
Yep.
532
Yep.
9000.
So,
Now,
Kelly, when you called
That's
over,
the main number, but I found a different number, which
Okay.
I thought I would have had a little bit more success with.
yep.
But it went directly to a appointment making.
Did you try the 532-9000?
I did. It went to nowhere.
It's just nowhere.
Yeah. So I found this one, and I was able to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
However, because I wasn't making an appointment for service, they hung up on me.
Was it another OneSource, or we're sure it's the right one?
No, it's the right one.
Yeah. What I show on their website. Let's try this one real quick. 719-881-8009. 719-881-8009. Let's try that. But this is just nuts. I mean, here we go again. How many times does this happen? They oversell him something, they don't need it. They actually give him the part back. They go and get the part checked out, and sure enough, the part's no good. So, I mean, I just don't quite, I don't understand. And then why would he want $1,000 back? Gary, I'm glad you turned that offer down. And here's what we're going to do. We're just going to work on this, man. And if I got to give their phone number out all day long and have people call them all day long and try to get a comment from these people, that's what I'll do. I mean, I'm sick and tired of it. They can at least talk to you on it. I understand if they don't want to talk to me, but for God's sake, they can at least talk to you. And you're saying they haven't talked to you since when?
Since the 3 days after this happened. Now, there is one more phone number.
What is the other phone number?
Okay, this guy's name's Levi.
And who is he?
Technician. He was the technician that came out.
Yeah, I don't want to give
the
his.
technician's personal cell phone.
Yeah, I don't want to give that out, man. Did you try that number, Bo?
I did not call the technician.
Maybe you should call the technician off air. I don't want to give that guy's cell phone out, but I'm definitely going to give out OneSource again. So, Kelly, here's one more ditch effort. before I ask our listeners to help out, try the 719-532-9000 on this break. Try that, and then we're going to figure out if they're going to come on or not. But, I mean, that's crazy. Meantime, it looks like, Dennis, you got a problem with the landlord. What's going on, man?
I've been without heat for 5 days, and as cold as it is, you know, I have a grandson. He's 11 years old, and I'm handicapped. You know what I mean? And it's just hard for me. You know, it's just hard. There ain't nothing I can really do. And the thing about it is, see, I've been living here 7 years, and she's owned this place for 2 years of the 7 years I've been living. And ever since she's been here, I'm without water for 3 or 4 days. I'm without heat 4 or 5 days. Last year, I was without heat again for like 3 or 4 days. They sometimes they don't, and then they don't even warn you. They'll just turn the water off.
Hey, Dennis, where is this? Where is this apartment?
2950.
Wait, hold on. You don't want to give out your address. Is it in Denver, Aurora? Where is it?
Inglewood.
All right, hold tight, man. Let me digest that. That was an awful big buffet of issues. Hold tight.
This is Denver.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah, man.
So we're doing the Denver Home Show.
Okay.
And it's sponsored by Dave Logan.
Okay.
And we talked to the people there.
Hold on 1 second. I just got to do these spots. As soon as I do these, we can talk about it. Do they sponsor it still? Is that what happens?
Yeah, they're sponsoring the whole thing, but you guys are going to have a bunch of vendors there. And they mentioned to us that it'd be cool if you guys want to do a live broadcast from our booth or something like that. But, I mean, Dave doesn't own the show.
Yeah.
But he is sponsoring it. And I can show you the vendor list. It's a bunch of you guys' referral lists.
We used to do that. I used to go out. When is it?
So it didn't go nowhere. It went to the same girl.
We have a big booth, too, just to FYI.
Okay, that's very different than going
hold
nowhere.
on.
Well, the first time I called it went nowhere. So then I looked up a different phone number, like I said, on the air.
Right.
Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies. I'm going to tell you a few things about them. One, it's a family approach to your retirement. They're not going to just tell you what to invest in. They take a 5-tier look at everything going on. They look at the income, the investments, your taxes, your health care, your legacy. You know, retirement is definitely more than just planning different investments. They're going to walk you through the entire thing. You know, their motto is safety, income, and growth. They've been doing this for over 40 years. In fact, Tom is a client of these guys. I want you to call them up. You can set up a Zoom. You can set up an in-person, a telephone conversation. But if you haven't thought about retirement, maybe it's time to start thinking about it. Maybe you have some orphan 401ks out there. Maybe you've been thinking of annuities. There's lots of different things out there. But you have to cater everything to you and yours. Give them a call at 970-663-3211, 970-663-3211, or rpcenter.com. Dragon, I did that on purpose. I don't know why they do this, but I can't do two retirement things back to back. It's absurd.
You're the boss, buddy.
When is the
You know what I'm
show?
saying?
You're the boss.
It's the February 8th.
I'll get it in one of the other hours, but I mean, that's ridiculous.
Put that on my calendar.
Okay.
You
can provide a table.
My name's not on the show.
Set it up if you guys are interested. And then I have a vendor list too. I can probably forward to you. Tom on vacation right now, or what's he up to?
I don't know.
Real sure.
He's just chilling, basically. He's not anywhere. We're going to see him later on. Got back-to-back lives in Retirement Planning Center and Become the Banker. They sell the same products.
Hey guys, by the way, all 3 numbers that I've now found online, all go to the scheduling appointment.
So they're all the same. Got it.
And they're not even listening to me.
Nope.
We heard everything you just said, Kelly, and I actually responded.
Okay. I can't hear you.
Oh.
I have to plug into Dragon's thing, so it's kind of messed up over here.
Yeah, so, but basically, you definitely tried the 719-532-9000.
Correct.
And that goes right to the same schedule.
Correct.
Okay. Well, let's have people start scheduling there. In fact, YouTubers, do me a favor. 719-532-9000. Be nice. Just say, hey, I don't want to schedule an appointment, but I do want to know why you charged Gary $3,200 for a blower motor that he didn't even need.
Well, there's a third number.
That's the number on their invoice. That's the main number.
The 9,000? Yeah. Let me see the invoice. These guys are clowns, in my opinion. Absolute clowns. 719-532-9000.
Well, when...
just clowns.
When Tom took this call, we had... is it Dunn? No, not Dunn. Somebody down in Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
532
that
9000.
Is a plumber.
Smith.
Yes.
Mike Robinson, because you
Smith.
asked for his phone number from me.
He did. He finally got back to us, and he looked at all of that, and he basically told us that this particular company is so bad, he does not understand why they're still in business. And
so
he has
this
to
came
go
right
and
from
clean
Mike.
up all of their stuff all of the time.
It came right from Mike.
Yep.
Unbelievable. That's what I would do, too. If I had a shit company like that, I would just do scheduling only. For customer complaints, hit 1. It just hangs up on you.
Yeah. 10 seconds.
Helped with Dinobites. Auto accident? Get the right lawyer on your side. Call Fuller.com.
630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
All right, 303-713-8255. Dennis, I'm going to come back to you, and we're going to try to help you out there. But Kelly has called over to this One Source so many times now. It's One Source. God, their logo sucks. The company sucks. Their logo sucks. The whole damn thing sucks. It's One Source Home Services. Let me see that damn thing again. You've got. I mean, this is crazy. $3,200. They didn't even need the damn thing. They didn't even need the motor. We sent it out to be inspected. The company said it was fine. We talked to somebody we know that runs a good, and I mean a great, HVAC company in the Springs, and they can't understand how this company's still in business. He's been cleaning up after them for years. Is that correct, Kelly? Years is what he said.
Correct.
I am sick and tired of One Source Home Services. Please give them a call. Apparently, there's no place to complain. If you're not calling to schedule an appointment, too bad. Maybe people should schedule an appointment and have them waste their time and come out. I'm just saying, then you can talk to them face to face. Maybe that's the way to do it. You know what? I jest a little when I say that, but at the same time, $3,200 and all he needed was the switch. And we verified it. We verified it through a third party, correct?
Totally independent third party.
Totally independent third party. Did Mike look at this personally as well? Kelly, I don't want to say what company. I don't want to throw him.
Exactly. So basically what happened is we reached out to Mike.
Yep.
And he called back later.
Yep.
He did not immediately address the case, but he is very, very familiar with the company.
He's used to him ripping people off.
Correct.
Let's just put it for what it is. So, folks, if you're listening now, this is how you can help. We need your help. When there's companies like this running around Colorado Springs or Denver, wherever, and they're simply screwing people, they need to know. The owner needs to find out. Basically, you're doing a public service. You call up, can I talk to the owner? If you can get through to the GM or the owner, just make sure they know that they have rogue employees that are possibly not diagnosing stuff correctly, or worse scenario, just outright ripping people off. Outright ripping people off.
And
that's possible. Go ahead, Bo.
Mark, that was my goal, is to get a hold of the owner of this company.
Yeah, we don't know if it's a rogue employee.
No, I wanted to get a hold of the owner and maybe I was in the business for 40 years. I wanted to educate him on what's going on with this company.
Well, apparently he knew he did something wrong because he offered him $1,000 credit towards future services.
I don't know if that was the owner, may have been the manager. I don't know if this is somebody. Yes.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
The other thing,
I can't believe how bad these are. Kelly, go ahead.
The other thing is that when you call, I found 3 phone numbers.
Yeah, and they all go to the same place.
They all go to scheduling.
I wonder if
for
they're just
service.
lead generation and they're calling other companies. I know nothing about them. I go to their website.
It's not even the company that it's going to. It is a third-party service call.
Well, good. It's a third-party service that people call right now.
Right,
that third-party service or answering service can pass on that a bunch of people are calling wanting to know why they screwed Gary over. I mean, really, that's what they can do.
And
now, that's my opinion. And listen, for them listening out there, hold on, Kelly. I just want someone to know there at One Source right now. I want to say something, One Source Home Services. I'm allowed to have my opinion. So if you want to start threatening, oh, we're going to sue you, please bring it on. I want you to bring it on. Put my name at the top, Marc Mager. Just put it right there, because I'll tell you something. Still in this country, you can have an opinion on anything. And I'll tell you what, it's your client that called up and told us about your shenanigans. You even offered him $1,000 credit. He doesn't want it. You won't call him back. You won't discuss it with him. Now it's on the public airways, you dumbasses. That's what you are. You operate a business horribly. You shouldn't even be in business, in my opinion. 719-532-9000. One Source Home Services. Please let me know what they say. And tell them I'm sick and tired of them. We've talked to other people down there that do the job right, and they've been cleaning up after you. We've got more ammunition against you than you could ever imagine. Jerks. I don't even get it. Give him a damn refund of $1,000. He doesn't want you for future credit. Now you got my damn holiday off to a bad start. Dennis, I apologize for putting you back on hold. This landlord, right now you haven't had heat for 5 days.
Yes, sir.
And when is it supposed to be back on? What?
I don't know. She don't answer my text. She don't, nothing. I don't get no phone calls, no nothing. I don't know. It's up in the air. I've been trying to call. I called the housing authority. They can't give me no help. I've called the police. I've called the fire department. Somebody.
Well, that's getting, wait. Dennis, that's going a little overboard. The police and fire department aren't going to do anything. So when is the last, Dennis, I swear to God, let's get the reality real quick. When's the last time you spoke to her and let her know that the furnace is not working or the heat is not working?
5 days ago.
Okay, and what did she say? Has anybody been out to look at it?
She never answered me. She never answered, text back, no phone call.
So you said it's not working and you haven't heard back from her?
At all. Nothing. She knows, too. I texted her about it 5 days ago, called her, no answer, no text reply, nothing.
Nothing.
And it's a usual thing. That's a usual thing.
Is it one?
When my rent is due, 1 minute after midnight, she's on it. Where's your rent? Where's your rent? And I'm not going to be Mr. Angel over here. I've been late on my rent.
Dennis.
I've always paid within 3 or 4 days.
Dennis, calm down for a minute, man. I get it. Chill out for a second.
I'm sorry about that.
That's all right. Let me ask some questions. See, I don't get loud and talk over you or anybody.
I'm just a little frustrated.
Dennis, I get it. Listen, man. Is it one unit, multiple units? What are we talking about?
It's a house, and there's 2 units, and she just added on another one downstairs, which is like a little box. I don't know how it's even going to rent out, but it's a one house. And when I first moved here, it was just
Dennis, we're going to play a game. Say, answer the question only. So it's just a house with 3 units. Are all 3 units in the same boat? Do you guys share the same heating system?
No.
Okay, so the other neighbors have heat as far as you know?
Yes.
Okay. And when you left the message, you left it on a voicemail with her, and you haven't heard anything back in 5 days?
Nothing.
Does she have other units outside of that house that you know of?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know. She bought this a couple of years ago.
Okay. Hold on a second. The fact he can't get a call back in 5 days is crazy, but I want to have a real conversation with Dennis after this break. Dennis, I'm going to ask you some very straightforward questions. One is going to be, are you on Section 8? And the only reason I ask that is I don't want to get someone so mad at you for coming on the air and talking about it, they pull your voucher or try to kick you out. And I'm not saying they can even legally do that. But what I'm saying is I have been in situations before where I have personally showed up and I have threatened to have the entire village, and I'll call it a village, shut down because it was about as illegal and the worst living conditions I have ever seen in my life. Do you remember that, Suzanne, when we went out there?
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever in your life seen anything like that?
It's crazy.
People living in campers, absolutely no plumbing, dead bodies in different places on the same property for weeks. Denver was going to come in and shut the whole thing down, but then what we found out is most of them had no other place to go, and it was in winter, so they had a decision to make. And I didn't like either part of the decision, but there was no good outcome, period. Either they live nowhere at all, or they're thrown out, or they live in just the worst conditions. It was nuts. I've never seen anything like it. So, Dennis, I want you to think of what I just said there, and we'll discuss it after this. Carl's got another problem. Unauthorized tenant. Welcome to Denver. And by the way, for you landlords out there, I'm sure you know this by now, but when the lease is up with that tenant you don't like, you probably can't get rid of them.
I'm thinking of selling off some of my stuff and turning it over to Vistara.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Just let them manage it.
Well, yes, just like you said, you almost need to be an attorney now to lease stuff in Denver. I can't keep up with landlord-tenant. I have 6 rentals.
You have a management company?
I'm starting to turn them over because my sister got ill. She did them all, so I'm turning them over to a company.
All right, hold on, guys. You know, you can become a real estate tycoon and not even have any idea of what you're doing. Vestera Turnkey has a wealth building program that's perfect for most people. Basically, you own the property. You don't have to manage it. You pay them like $300 a year. They're going to find a management company for you. And whenever you want to sell it, you can sell it. But they have a unique way of finding undervalued properties across the country, and they find these little pockets where there's a lot of economic growth and underpriced units. You buy one, you own it. When you want to sell it and make the profit, we've had listeners invest $200,000-$300,000 with Vestera, and they're now up to about $1 million. Think of that return. Call for all the details. Barry and the gang have been with us a long time. 303-888-3788. 888-3788. 888heating.com. Speaking of 888s, these guys, that's their website, by the way, 888heating.com. Right now, they got a deal going on that's unbelievable. Check it out. For $45, they're going to come out, tear apart that furnace, clean it from the inside and out, get rid of all the dirt, give it a sticker on the side to where if you ever have a problem, you know who to call, and they're going to give it a no breakdown guarantee. $45, it'll be the best $45 you ever spent, but I promise you this, as soon as the cold weather sticks for a few days, like, you know, that 10-degree days, the deal's gone. Call and get it now. First-time customers only. Check them out. You can schedule as well. 888heating.com. Right there. 888heating.com.
Yeah, you didn't hit start stream on the laptop. That's what happened.
Oh, okay.
So I was able to hear it.
Did you see it? He told you that?
Yeah, I called him. He's like, well, what is this? What is this?
Good morning. Thanks so much for calling
What
the Tom
is,
Martino Show.
When is Scott coming in?
He should be here in a little bit.
Yep.
I
Okay.
think he had PT until 11 or something.
I'm getting on board with Vestera. With yeah, I'm gonna do a property.
Sure. Yep. That's what I've had 3 that have done that.
He's a good guy,
Not going
man.
to go anywhere.
Yeah, he really seems like
Here's
it.
what I asked him a poignant question the other day when he was in studio, and I don't know why they don't bring it up. Because like
Yep. We sure don't, but thank you for trying.
1031 my rental into his property.
Okay.
Yeah.
And not pay any tax, capital gains tax.
At the moment.
Well, yeah, you just buy new property in New Market through him.
The wholesale price goes, because if I sell a property in Sylvan, I got to pay like a 25% capital gains. But with the Vistera thing, because it's going from property to property. So that's a real motivator for me.
That's why I'm doing it rather than just like the stock market or something like that.
Do you have a house, or are you just going to invest into it?
No, I'm going to buy a house.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Through Vistera?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the
Give it a shot.
65,000.
When are you buying?
He was telling me like 80-ish, but...
You know, I'm sick and tired of these
Single
assholes.
family rental.
When?
Oh, as soon as possible.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for...
Getting your own house. That's
Well,
awesome.
no, this would be an investment.
Oh, be an investment.
If you
Gotcha.
got to.
Okay, cool. Wow, making some dough, yeah.
Have you had a meeting with him?
Yeah, I've had the consultation and done everything. He's really talking me into getting leveraged on it rather than just paying cash.
If you leverage, Henry, then you have an opportunity to buy a couple of properties.
Yeah, there's less taxes on that, so you can build equity and then 1031. But I guess when you sell it, regardless, you'd have realized gains. So.
Well, and then you're at the end of the train, so the government's going to get their money one way or the other. But at least you're using money to buy something more value. Yeah, I'm going to get my sister and I are going to try to meet him after the first year.
Top secret?
Top secret. Oh, yeah, she's gung-ho for me doing it because she's managing most of the stuff. And she'd rather manage poodles than property.
Can't blame her there.
I gave out a landlord's phone number one time.
You did?
Yeah, and it was her personal cell.
Did you really?
Fuck yeah, I did.
And?
Did you mean to do that?
Yeah, I meant to do it. I did mean to do it. You're goddamn right I meant to do it.
Some results?
It got results. I'm not going to go into the results, but it definitely got results. It got a lot of results. Results I didn't see coming.
You have to tell us that this afternoon.
I don't know which case you're talking about.
I'll tell you later. We're on YouTube, right? I assume we are now.
Yeah.
YouTubers, that One Source Home Services, 719-532-9000. My God, be nice to them. Be nice. Be very nice.
We just had
figure out why they won't refund this guy.
We just had a
$1,000, big deal.
caller
And he
who-
still ends up paying $2,200
Hey,
for a
Mark.
switch.
I need to step out for a moment, so...
Mark.
Very reasonable. Very, I thought, diplomatic. Reasonable.
Mark?
Because he did provide, he did get the...
Mark.
I don't even want to get into the pricing. It's the fact that the motor simply was not needed.
It's like me. I hate when people say, well, I can buy, when I was in business, I can buy this on the internet.
Well, of course.
I'm selling a job. I'm not selling...
KHOW. Denver's talk station. Online at khow.com.
All right, 303-713-8255, 303 Martino. You got a problem with a contractor or landlord, anything out there, we want to recoup some money for you today. 303 Martino. Simple as that. Dial it up. We're here another 3 hours. I'm going to go back to Dennis. We were talking about an issue with his landlord. He's had issues there for 2 years since the person has owned it. And that's 100% according to him. He hasn't had heat for 5 days. He left a message somewhere, but they have never returned. They haven't sent anybody out to look at it. Is that all correct, Dennis?
Yes, sir. That's
Now,
sure direct.
now, a couple questions. One, are you on Section 8?
No, I'm not.
Okay. How are you 100% paid up on your rent? You owe nothing.
100%. 100%.
Okay. I don't like any part of this. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put you on hold. You're going to give Kelly your landlord's phone number, okay? I'm going to try to reach out to her. Give Kelly all the information you have. Kelly's going to try to reach out, and we're going to see if we can't get someone over there and figure out what's going on with the heat and when you can get it working again, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, hold on a second. Kelly, you got that? Let's do that. One line open, 303-713-8255. One Source Home Services. These are the guys. Yep, these are the guys. In fact, do me a favor, Dragon. Let's tag this. I want to make them a nice radio spot for future use. That way I don't have to remember their phone number and bring it up all the time. You ready? I'm going to count down. You ready? 3, 2, 1. One Source Home Services. Oh, man, these guys are great. They're going to come out and sell you stuff you don't need and charge you a hell of a lot of money. Then you're going to call up this show because they won't answer the phone and they will not take care of the problem. That is One Source Home Services, in my opinion. Yep, One Source Home Services in Colorado Springs, in my opinion, sucks. They really suck. In fact, I would never personally use them ever in a million years. If I saw them, I'd run across the street. 719-532-9000. I would personally never use them ever, according to the complaints and based upon Gary, who called in today and had a big issue with them, paid $3,200 for something he didn't even need. Now, yes, they did fix the furnace, but we sent that motor out. The motor was looked at. There was absolutely no problem with that blower motor whatsoever, according to a third-party source. And then according to other people we know down, this is a long commercial, isn't it? This one, I'm going to have to pay a lot of money to run this one. But then we also talk to other people we trust in the Springs, and they know the reputation is very bad of One Source Home Services at 719-532-9000.
Can we give out the address, Mark?
I don't even think it matters. I mean, no, I don't want anybody. No, there's no reason, but I know this, though. That was way too long for a spot, so I'm going to have to shave that down, Dragon.
Yeah, that was a 90, yeah.
That's a 90?
Yeah. That
cost me a lot of money to run. So let me think how I would do, let's say, a 15 for One Source Home Services. Marc Mager for One Source Home Services. In my opinion, they suck. I would never do business with them. They absolutely suck, according to different callers. 719-532-9000. And also, according to other people that we know in Colorado Springs, One Source Home Services is not very customer-oriented, not very friendly, and, of course, that's my opinion. 719-532-9000. Where's that end us up at?
There you go. That's a good 30.
That's a good 30. And then I could run maybe a 10. Gary says was it Gary? That's right, Bo?
Gary. Yes,
Gary says One Source Home Services sucks. You can call him if you want, but I highly suggest you don't. 719-532-9000. Is that a 15?
Missed the timing on that one, but yeah, we're close enough.
Right around 15. Okay, we can lock that one in. And for people out there listening, once again, I don't do this a lot. I really don't. But when they will not contact the caller, they will not talk to us. In fact, how many times did they hang up on you, Kelly?
Once.
Okay.
But the other 2 times, they just would not pass me through to anyone unless I was going to make an appointment.
Well, could we make an appointment with the general manager to discuss Gary's situation?
That was not what they were.
You know what? I'm going to try the number personally.
By the way,
on break, I'm going to call him.
Dennis.
Yes.
I just called Liz.
Yes.
The
landlord.
Yep.
Don't. This is what we call a tease. Everybody hang tight. We're going to see what this landlord had to say about Dennis's situation and a lot more after this. Here, hold on. We can go out here, though.
Yeah.
I'd like to say we can.
Yeah.
I never know if we can or can't.
Sounds good.
Favor?
Gary says One Source Home Services sucks. Gary says One Source Home Services sucks. You can call them if you want, but I highly suggest you don't. 719-532-9000. Is that a 50?
Scott says, I'll be in at 1 today.
1 o'clock, okay. The dollar man's in at 1.
I'm shocked you feel that way about Kelly. That's kind of crazy, Henry.
I think you're a great person.
Top secret, Doc is out today.
Okay, I have got a prediction. I'm going to put a poll up. I'll tell you my prediction. And people that listen to this show, I am generally not wrong. Hold on, I got to sign into YouTube, though. I've got a prediction, and it's a big one. It's a big one. Huge. Huge, as Trump would say. It's a huge prediction. Okay, poll. Where do I do a damn poll?
You guys going for Christmas? Anything special?
We don't know yet.
Weird Christmas.
Yeah, we just don't know. We don't have our kids for the first time ever.
No cruise?
No,
we're
because
definitely
our
not doing.
son is
What do we look, 90?
Our son is moving over Christmas, so he's moving from Norfolk, Nebraska to Scotts Bluff.
Oh my gosh.
So we might have to help him do that. We might decide to surprise a couple people, do a little hop, skip, and jump flight, but it's weird. Henry. Our daughter, she's got Romeo up in Casper, Wyoming. So they did Thanksgiving with us. They're doing Christmas at Romeo's house.
Okay.
So he lives in Grand Junction. He's an attorney. She's getting ready to graduate law school. So, they're both in the same line of work. But he's from Casper, and that's where they're going to go. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Does that show polls? Do polls pop up on that thing?
Have a little relaxation.
Oh, cool. On my phone, they don't pop up at all.
So with our son's life being up in the air a little bit, we'll know more this afternoon. He's being relocated, and they're going to tell him when his moving truck will show up and all that.
Yeah.
But he starts his new job on the 30th. So might be staying in a hotel for a few days. Have you ever been to Scotts Bluff?
I have not.
Yeah. We just went there for the first time over the weekend.
That's where the Walmart is, right?
Shit. Oh, my gosh, Bo, it's so
Didn't your
big.
son work for Hobby Lobby?
Yeah, but he's going to Walmart.
That's a big change.
Yeah, well, he used to work for Walmart.
Oh, he did?
And then he went to Hobby Lobby, now he's going back to Walmart.
Is he the manager, I heard?
Assistant.
Well, he's called the store lead.
Those managers make good money at Walmart.
The one in Aurora makes over a $500,000.
For one store.
He's 24 years old and he's freaking killing it, pay-wise. No college debt.
And I must brag to everybody, our daughter will be the youngest person, period, in Wyoming to ever pass a bar.
To be barred.
To be barred if she passes a bar.
That's incredible.
22.
She's 22. She'll be 23 when all this happens.
You got to keep the whip out when they're coming up. You drug test the shit out of them. All these kids now smoking dope. I don't give a fuck, man. They're all dumb as shit.
Yeah.
You want to smoke a little on the weekends? You go to Detroit, you go to New York City, you go to Denver. These fucking kids smell like pot. They're on pot all the time, and they're like, what, 30%?
Let me tell you, our kids were never innocent, but it was like, oh, you failed for weed. You can have your phone back when you pass the test. Like, we were, like, totally mean. We're like, hey, you can have it back tomorrow if you can pass. Now we find out later, sister was pissing for brother was sister had died.
Yeah, but in general, they were never
but
druggies.
They're not big potheads or anything. They're not. I mean,
I'm checking out these Yelp reviews someone put up.
That's awesome to hear they're doing great.
Sue's how long's law?
Oh, my God.
Is law school 2 years or 3 years?
it's 3.
I should be.
But she graduated high school early. She got her bachelor's in warp speed.
Does she like the law school?
Yeah, she's up to Wyoming. She's her political landscape up there.
Loves it.
Yeah.
She's getting a little more liberal, but I'm liberaling it out of her.
He's blaming Romeo for that.
Well, absolutely. Hey, what do you expect, though? They indoctrinate
Can't be too left
them.
in Wyoming.
What's that?
Can't go too left in Wyoming.
No, you can't. No.
Is Romeo the boyfriend?
Yeah, our daughter's a huge Trumper.
Good.
Hey, YouTubers.
Just not as big as Mark.
That's wonderful.
That $45 deal by 888 Heating is incredible. If you have not done it, get it done.
Did you say 35?
They don't try to twist your arm into buying anything. They come out, they clean the shit out of that furnace.
Oh.
They spend 1-2 hours, and it's perfect. I just never have enough time to explain on air what the deal is. But Garrett and the gang are great. If you haven't done it, get it booked now. Okay, you should see these reviews on these guys.
On the one source.
Oh, my God. Someone on YouTube put something.
What? Tom just retire?
10 seconds.
I have John on the line.
Just tap that little microphone
John on the line again.
while listening to Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Welcome, my friends, to the only show of its kind. We solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. Our goal is to recoup money for you, make life a little more just for you if you've been ripped off, and really just try to help you. It's simple as that. We're here all the time at 303 Martino. It doesn't matter if we're on the air or off. You can always email us at help@troubleshooter.com. We'll reach out to you. We'll try to help you in that aspect as well. We're dealing with a lot. We've got a couple landlord things going on today, but during the break, if you know, last hour we were talking about one source in Colorado Springs, and I'm a little curious on how this business operates. I'm trying to think who can do this research for me, but One Source Home Services on Yelp, 141 reviews, and by far, the majority are one. Bo, I want you to do a little peeking under the skirt of these guys. And here's why I say this. Listen to this first review. And this first review, hold on. I don't like how Yelp reviews work. They jump around. But let me hit this. So the very first one is Gary G., Colorado Springs, Colorado. Word of caution. Call for action. I wish this guy would call in. Our heater went out during the last snowstorm. We called One Source. They overcharged for parts and labor significantly. Blah, 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 blah. But here's the next one. You ready?
Yes.
Michael R., North Carolina. The next one, Eagle S., San Francisco. Does this company operate just a call center? And if so, who are these technicians coming out? I want to know who people are dealing with when they call One Source in Colorado Springs. I'm starting to think it's possible, it's just an opinion, a little hyperbole, but maybe they have a contract with the homeless down there, so they take in the call, and then they simply reach out to someone homeless that's got a wrench and send them to your house. Now, I'm not sure if that's what's going on, and this is my attempt at being funny, but something really stinks here. Why is there reviews from all across the country on this place?
That's very odd. Now, what I could do is call the caller back and get the name of Levi, who's the technician.
I wonder if Levi
might shed some light on this. Now, I didn't know that Gary had his phone number.
I wonder if Levi is an independent contractor that is outsourced by these guys. Because if that's true, I've got multiple problems now. I've got a problem with One Source because they have no control over what's going on, but yet people are calling them and talking to them. And then I also have a big problem with Levi, because Levi would be the one that upsold in that scenario, not OneSource. So they both suck if that's the case.
It's true. He very well could be a subcontractor just freelancing for this company.
Go ahead, Suzanne.
Not to switch tracks, but I'm dying to know what the landlord said to Kelly.
Oh, my goodness. We're going to go to that. We're going to go. I'm going to recap that in just a second. I also want you to reach out to Mike down there. Do you know who that is? I'm going to give you a cell phone number to reach out and pick his brain on how OneSource operates down there. He might actually know the answer to that. Make
Is he
sense?
on our referral list?
No, don't. I don't even want to go into who he is, because a lot of people, they don't want to poo-poo their competition. I'm not going to put someone in that spot. All right, so now what Suzanne was talking about, update everybody on that.
Okay,
what happened?
so Dennis has called in. He hasn't had heat for 5 days. No communication from his landlord for 5 days. He's been there 7 years. She's owned it for the last 2 years. And since she's owned it, they've had problems with water issues, heating issues, AC issues, whatnot. He's really frustrated right now.
But the most important part is in the last 5 days.
For 5 days, Mark. It's not exactly warm out at night. You know,
it's in
I'd
the
be
30s.
pissed. I'd be pissed.
Kelly, what says landlord lady?
Well, you guys are going to be a little disappointed on that tease.
She didn't answer.
Her mailbox is not set up to take messages.
And wait a minute. Is that the only number, Carl, we have? I'm sorry, I picked up the wrong landlord problem. Yes, I understand. Dennis, is that the only phone number you have for her?
Well, she had another number, but she sent me that number to get a hold of her. It's a corporation. It's called, let's see, it's called,
is it the management company? Is that what you're referring to?
No, it's a private owner, but she says she has a management company, and this is supposed to be her.
What's the management company's name? What do you know?
Hold on a second. I'm trying to find it right now.
All right, hold on. Get your ducks in a row, and I'll come back to you. I promise. Find me the management company. Give me a number where it just doesn't go to nothingness. I mean, we've got to have something to leave a message or to talk to or something. I mean, something. My goodness, something. Now, talk about problems. This landlord, Carl, you've got a problem with a tenant, an unauthorized tenant. Shed some light on that situation for me.
Okay. I've had a tenant that's been there for about 15 years. She's been very faithful. I have no problem with her. She's going to be moving out. And about 6 months ago, she fell on hard times. And so she had, without letting me know, she had this guy move in, and he was going to pay half the rent. Well, he has never paid her a penny. And now that she's moving out, she tells me that he's finally there. So I know that he's there. I give him a 30-day notice that he needed to be out, because I told him I was going to, in the notice, that I was going to sell the house. And he needs to leave.
So he's not, I wanted, so the lady is on the lease. Is she on a month-to-month at this point because it's been so long? Is she under a 1-year lease? And then this guy moved in and pretty much unauthorized?
Absolutely unauthorized. I didn't even know he was there.
When did you find out he was there, Dennis?
I found out on the 8th of last month.
So you found out on the 8th last month, and how long do you think he was there for?
I'm guessing, I don't know for sure, probably less than 6 months.
Wow, that's still quite a ways. And you want to sell the property now, is that correct?
Yes.
And I'm sorry, I missed this part when I was deciphering some of the other stuff you said. So you actually have a month-to-month lease with her at this point?
It's just a month-to-month rental.
Yeah, okay. So there is no lease. There actually is a lease, but it's month-to-month.
Right, right.
Okay, here's what I'd like to do on this. I'd like to get Brad O'Brien on, Kelly. I want to ask him a couple things on a month-to-month. And are they caught up? Are they caught up on payments or no?
Absolutely. She's been very faithful.
But she doesn't owe you any money.
Pardon?
She does not owe you any money. That's all I'm asking.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
And basically what we want to figure out for you is how do you get them out of there the proper way so you can sell the property?
Right.
All right. That's an easy enough question. And even though it's a month-to-month lease, and a lot of people, especially landlords in Colorado, know this, the problem is we changed some of our laws a couple of years ago where you can't just get rid of a lease in general. You simply can't do it. Even if I had a 1-year lease with like Henry Bretz and he was renting an apartment or a house from me and he was paying on time, so he doesn't owe me money, and his lease comes up, I'm not going to sell the property, but I'd rather get somebody else in there because maybe a neighbor's complained about him or anything. It doesn't matter. But he is paid up. I can't simply not renew a lease. You have to, which sounds amazing, but you have to, except in some cases, and we'll go over that with Brad O'Brien after this.
The one thing I didn't get from that is if it's just that lady, or if the lady's letting him move out, or if the guy isn't as well. I assume it's both of them.
Yeah. Would you put up Liz Harris' phone number? Suzanne, Liz Harris' phone number.
Oh, 429. Oh, shit. 429-6200. Putting that up. There it is.
MyMoneyMyWay.com. You know, Joe and the gang over there, they sell annuities, but the ones they sell are actually a great product. You get a bonus to work with, and you can either let it sit there and grow for numerous years and decide to pull that trigger and get that guaranteed income every month for the rest of your life, or you can have an annuity, buy it, and convert that 401k and turn on that cash stream, that cash flow every month in 30 days. And that's guaranteed money till the day you die. I want you to check out MyMoneyMyWay.com and give Joe a call. Ask him any questions. But it's safe, it's secure, and it's guaranteed. You ready? MyMoneyMyWay.com. Now, Joseph A. Lazara is a criminal defense attorney. In fact, I had him on the show yesterday, and I love Joe. Here's what I love about him. If you are guilty, he's going to get you the best deal out there. Maybe a DUI, domestic abuse, maybe you got into a bar fight. You name it, this guy can do it. This guy can get you the best deal. And if you're innocent, he can get in front of a jury of your peers and fight for you better than anybody out there. Put this phone number in your phone because when you need it, you're not going to want to have to try to find it. You're going to want it right in your phone. 303-429-6200. Joe Lazara, 303-429-6200. Hey, Jorge, 5280. Hey, you know what? You can suck my dick, you fucker.
Oh, jeez.
You're out of here, bro.
Woo.
See ya, Jack.
Talk about keeping it classy.
Fucking Jorge.
Jorge, I know. I was like, noted. I'll be sure Mark knows, but I was going to wait till after the show to tell you.
God, what a dick. You know what? I hope you have a channel or something, you prick.
I'm looking for it. Where does it say that?
You can't.
Well, first he was like...
You won't see him anymore.
Well, I still see him.
Well, you will.
Oh, okay. First he says, we need Tom Martino on air. He's more interesting to listen to than Mark. Mark is okay. So I put to the guy, noted, I'll be sure Mark knows. And then I guess he must have put something else. Tom's voice is a fixture in the Denver Metro. Of course he is. I started listening to the show since where what year did you all? All right. Well, anyway.
You dick. What a dick. I love haters, just for the hell of it. Hey, let me just say something for the hell of it. Why don't you come in studio as a common man, you prick?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Miles was asking, he's like, hey, he sent me a screenshot. He's like, where's my apartment at? So I circled that. And then it's like, here's where you park and your front door is.
Got a lot of people talking some credit to you, too, so.
Well, always. There's always some asshole prick. I mean, there always is. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter who it is. I could go cure cancer and Jorge would be fucking pissy about it. He'd be like, well, shit, Tom would have cured it faster. You dick.
You could be playing with a bunch of kittens and they're like, puppies are better.
How's your bro doing? Is he in college at Duke, right?
Yeah.
Is he in college now or what? How old is he?
He's graduating right now, and he's
Where's
going to the military.
High school or college?
He's going into the military?
Yep.
What branch?
Army.
Oh, cool for him.
Wow.
That's cool. Your parents nervous about that, or they what? Like,
A little bit, but
your dad.
I'm sure he'll enjoy it and work out.
Yeah.
Get all strong. So.
Does he know where he's going yet?
I'm not sure. They had the recruiter come to the house, but I was not there, so I'm not sure. But yeah, it should be good.
Yeah.
Sounds excited. We need to get some more roofing questions in here.
See, puppies are better. Puppies are a lot less sharp than kittens, that is for sure.
Sure about that?
Claws? Kitten claws? Those things are dangerous. Puppy
Every time the snow hits our roofs. Woo, you've never been out to our house, have you?
No,
Those big ass roofs. It's always a little scary. But we have the snow. What do you call it? The thing.
Snow guards. You guys have snow guards all over our house.
Yeah, and then the snow tape for the heat tape.
Heat cable.
Yeah, we have that to help. You're always looking up when you're shoveling the deck, like, whoa, because we're so like this, you know.
Yeah.
And in Franktown, we get so much snow.
Heat cable still working?
Yeah, it's working great, isn't it?
What?
The heat cable.
Nah, I got a problem with one of the gutters. I'll be calling you guys.
All right.
We put snow guards up where they were this year, but the gutters came off again. It's just there's so much snow there. There's heat tape, there's snow. I mean, there's everything there.
These are guy problems.
I don't know what the fix is.
10 seconds.
Did you get it?
Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
All right, 303-713-8255. Don't forget, you can always check us out on YouTube. You go to YouTube and you can hear us. Well, you can hear a show within a show, to put it mildly. We have a lot of chats going. In fact, I just had a hater online, Jorge. Jorge was not happy with me. He says, oh, the show is so much better when Tom does it. It amazes me how people come on just to bitch about you. I mean, it doesn't matter who you are, what you do. Pretty much, I could probably cure cancer, and Jorge, 5280, would still be upset with me because, you know, I didn't cure it quick enough. So, Jorge, I made it very simple for you. Stay away, you jerk. You like that? You know, I don't mind fighting with people. I really don't. I mean, you want to come on and be a jerk with me, do it. I'm going to do the same thing back to you. Fire with fire, baby. 303-713-8255. Now, we have got Brad O'Brien OLS law on when it comes to property management, when it comes to purchasing property, when it comes to writing up a lease, when it comes to modifying a lease, looking at it, when it comes to eminent domain, when it comes to virtually anything out there that has to do with property, commercial, residential, Brad O'Brien is our go-to. This guy lives and breathes it. He's one of the best attorneys around. Brad, first of all, Merry Christmas, sir. How are you doing, Brad?
Doing great. Merry Christmas as well.
Thank you, sir. Now, listen, Carl called up. He's a landlord. He's had the same lady in his unit for 15 years. She doesn't owe any money. She's on basically a verbal, if you will, month-to-month lease at this point, okay? And what's happening is in the last 6 months, and I'm not actually sure, I want to ask him something. Hey, Carl, I did have a question for you. What was the relevance of telling me that guy moved in? What was the relevance of that? Is that what made you want to sell the property, or is there some other relevance to that?
No, I'm just ready to sell.
Okay, period. So he's ready to sell. Brad, she did move somebody in that was not on the lease, and he just found out about it, but apparently that has nothing to do with it. But he wants to sell the property now. What does he have to do? I know you can only not renew under certain circumstances now, but I think one of them is if you're going to sell the property, you can do it. Is that correct?
That's right. If someone has been a tenant for a year or longer, then the landlord has to have a reason to not renew their lease. So if you're month to month for 15 years, like in this case, there has to be a valid reason under the statute. And the landlord wanting to sell is one of those reasons.
So Carl, you can sell. What does he technically have to go through? Does he just got to tell her, hey, does he actually, if she doesn't want to leave, I guess he's got to go through an eviction, right?
Well, it starts off with a 90-day...
Hold on, Carl. Go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, there's a form out there.
Carl, hold on. He's telling you what you got to go through.
Yeah, there's a notice of no fault.
All right, Carl, you know what? You're going to go first. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I failed to tell you that she is moving out on the 23rd. After that, she won't be there.
Okay, but you're saying then that guy is still going to be there? What's the relevance of what you're telling us?
He wants to stay. And live there free.
Well, nice. Okay, so Brad, there was relevance to this guy moving in, even though Carl, whatever. So he's going to be faced with this guy not moving out, so he's going to have to go through an actual eviction process if this guy doesn't want to move out. Would that be correct, Brad?
Yes. The lady tenant doesn't deserve any notice because she's going to voluntarily move out, so that issue is done. But this new guy who just showed up, not on the lease, not approved by the landlord, he can be evicted at any time. That would start with the 3-day notice to quit.
Carl, do you have any questions on that? Do you want help? Do you want Brad to help you and actually do the eviction properly?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you spend a few bucks and have it done properly, quite frankly, if you've never done it, because this guy could be a complete nightmare. Hey, Brad, common sense says if he's not on the lease, he's not paying any money, and, the lady, the actual tenant, moves out. If he called the cops, here's the problem. These squatters generally know what's going on. But if the cops come out, most likely what would happen? If Carl called up and said, hey, this guy that's not supposed to be living there is living there, and then the cops show up and he's going to say, well, I've been there the last 6 months, what typically happens?
Well, they're not going to put the person out without the court order, granting possession to the landlord and a writ of restitution being issued. And then you've got to take that writ of restitution to the sheriff's office, and the sheriff actually is the one who physically removes the person.
Yeah. Carl, you got any questions? I'm going to give you Brad's number. You can call him up after this, but I highly suggest you engage with Brad and get this handled. Honestly, you trying to do this yourself. You want to get this property sold. You're going to have a few bucks out of pocket now doing this properly, but he's going to get the order if the guy doesn't, get out of there. And Brad, when you enter into something like this, you start with the actual notice, and there's a chance that this guy might move out when that's posted. Then he can move forward. In other words, you might not have to go all the way through the eviction hearing a lot of times, right?
Right. If the person voluntarily moves out at any point in the eviction process, you could stop the eviction process at that time if they've clearly abandoned the property.
Yeah, so, I mean, Carl, literally, I would call him. If you don't want to call Brad, call a different attorney, but that's really all Brad does. He's so good at it. Do you have any other questions for him while we have him?
Yeah, I have one other question. He's an unauthorized person.
Yep.
And I understand that an unauthorized person really doesn't have any rights.
Well, that's mostly correct. They do have the right to be evicted through the correct civil procedures, the court procedures. They, for example, a landlord is not allowed to use self-help in changing the locks or turning off the utilities or using other forceful or threatening means to get the tenant out of there.
Yeah, he can actually, and go a little deep dive into that for a second, Brad. I mean, like, if someone in Carl's circumstance, I can imagine how he feels. He feels like he's getting ripped off, taken advantage of. I mean, really, this entire show's built around his circumstance. But if you decided, hey, I'm just going to cut the electricity off, I mean, he could actually be fined, correct?
Yes, that would be an illegal eviction. So this person is in there. It doesn't have many rights, but one right he does have is the right to due process, which is the landlord has to go to court and run through the eviction process, and then eventually get the sheriff out there who performs the actual physical eviction and removal of the person.
It's a pretty wild thought, but in today's society, that's how it works. I mean, that's just how it works. You know, back in the day, if you didn't have a lease, I mean, you would just probably walk in there and drag him out, quite frankly, and not many people would do it in the 1930s or whatever, but we're just not there. So, Carl, I know it's not fair, and I'm not here trying to argue against the fairness. I think it sucks, but if you don't do it the right way, ultimately you're just wasting time getting this house to market.
Okay. I would like to speak with Bert. Is it Brad?
It's Brad. Yeah, he's at, I'll give you his phone number now, and then when we put you on hold, because I got to go to break in a minute anyhow, if you don't write it down right now, Kelly will pick up and give it to you again. But 720-370-7388, 720-370-7388. That's olslaw.com. Brad, one more quick question, because it's amazing how many people don't know that are actually landlords in Colorado that you simply can't decide not to renew a lease. So the reasons that I can think of is, one, if you're selling the house and they've lived there over a year, you give them how many days notice in order to sell the house or not for the renewal?
Well, it's a 90-day notice.
Got it.
The 90th day has to be after their tenancy expires. So
got it. So
the lease has. Yeah. So the reasons for not renewing a tenant would be the landlord wants to sell or convert it to something different, like a short-term rental.
Got it.
Long-term rental. Landlord wants to perform substantial repairs to the home that are so substantial that the tenant would have to move out.
Yeah. In other words, they want to rehab it.
Yep. Another one is the landlord wants to move their own family member or themselves back in there.
Got it.
That sometimes happens. They want to sell it. That's one reason.
Hey, if they well, hold on. I want to see if there's a loophole here. So if Carl, and I'm not using him, I'm just using him because he called, but if Carl said, hey, my son is going to move in there, so therefore I'm going to kick you out, and his son moves in for 1 week and then they rent it to somebody else, I mean, could they cry foul at that part, or how does that work?
Yeah, the landlord does have to follow through by not marketing it for rent for a period of 90 days after that 90-day notice period.
God, it's got to be hard to be a landlord in Colorado. Go ahead. Henry Bretz is our guest today with Excel Roofing. He's got a question.
Yeah, so I've got a question for you.
Hit your mic button.
Am I on? Yeah, it's on. Through the eviction process, does the state just expect the landlord to pay the utilities through that and eat the cost?
Well, if there's a lease, the lease is the first place to look on who's responsible for utilities. Typically, it makes it the tenant's responsibility. And if the landlord takes an eviction case all the way through trial, they can do two things through that process. One is to get possession, and second is to get a money judgment award against the tenant and in favor of the landlord. That's where the landlord would recover utilities that were incurred in the meantime.
That were paid. Yeah, Henry, it's a whole different thing. I know you were talking about investing in property. One of the things we learned from Barry at Vestera is they do almost nothing in Colorado now. Things that he does are generally out of state. They find the right economy. They find the right properties. But one of the reasons they're kind of staying away from Colorado is exactly that, man. I mean, it's kind of a crazy situation where you have a 1-year lease. Brad, what was the theory behind it that you can come up with? Why did the legislature actually say and come up with this? What do you think it was?
Well, to give people some long-term certainty in their housing, so that if they're renting year to year, that they couldn't be evicted, or the landlord couldn't simply not renew them, and then they'd be forced to move it.
But that's the whole deal they made at the beginning with the lease. It's a 1-year lease. Now, some leases, as you know, have options. If the lease has an option, then they have an option to rent again. But, I mean, I could understand circumstances. I want to buy a property. It appreciates very quick in Colorado, and I might want to sell it, or I might want to find, for lack of a better word, I might want to find better tenants that might mow the lawn better, tenants that don't, have complaints from the neighbors that I have to hear about. But I mean, I get it. You have nothing to do with it. But I appreciate every time you come on, Brad. I mean, you are a wealth of information. Landlords out there, if you need someone on your side to whether it's to do the eviction right, no matter what it is, Brad O'Brien. I mean, it's simple as that. The guy knows what he's doing. He lives and breathes property and law. 720-370-7388. Terrence has an issue with the reverse mortgage. I'm not sure who's on 3 yet. One line open, 303 Martino.
Have a comment
Mike's smart. Mike, okay. I don't know who he is, but Mike is incredible. He owns a great company, Smith Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. He brought that company from 2 trucks up to about 100. Wow. He's massive. For Colorado Springs, he's by far the largest, and he's, I think, in the top 500 growing businesses in the country. He is an accountant by trade, a licensed master plumber, and he played professional football, not just in the U.S., but also in Canada for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
Professional.
Yeah, CFL and NFL.
He says he might be interested in our phone number if he comes up to Denver next quarter, or call Denver to expand his business.
We do a lot for him in the Springs. We do commercials for him down there. But he's only, Pueblo of the Springs. 888heating.com. Listen, I implore you. You want the best deal out there. $45. I promise you're going to be calling me up saying, Mark, that's the best $45 I've ever spent on my house. They're going to come out. They're going to tear that furnace apart. They're going to clean it upside down. It's going to sparkle. You're going to love it. They're going to spend 1-2 hours. They're going to clean the blower motor. They're just going to make sure everything is clean. They're going to make it more efficient. They're going to put a sticker on it. And if you ever have a problem with your water heater or air conditioner or furnace, you're going to know who to call. They're going to introduce you to the company. I have personally known Garrett well over 10 years. I have used him in our house numerous times. He is a great guy, and it's a great company, but this offer is nuts. $45. New clients only, but take advantage of it when it's there. I know other companies do stuff like this. They come out, they just want to sell you something. I promise you, these guys are the real deal. Call them right now, 888heating.com. Go there, you can schedule it, or call them and schedule it, 888heating.com. So that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons Barry doesn't look here. Plus, the other problem is we're outpaced. In other words, he thinks the market's going to pull back here.
Yeah.
There's no deals.
Yeah, 0 deals. And inventory sucks.
People are actually moving out of here.
I'm looking at buying my first home, too, this year, so a little fearful of that.
You want to call Frank. Use Duran no matter what. And then, what was I going to say? So I was looking at a duplex. I made a cash offer on a duplex Saturday, Friday, whenever it was. Yeah, so it was brand new builder, but it'd been sitting there 18 months. Brand new. Vacant. It's been sitting there 18 months. So they built 8 of them, 8 duplexes, so 16 units. They've only sold 4. No, I'm sorry. It's 4. It's a total of 8 units. They've sold 3 of them. One's under contract, and then the other 4 have been open for 18 months. So I made them a hell of a cash offer. I told them, I'll put X amount right now today, and then I will close within a week. And I didn't even hear back from them. Didn't even hear back. But in the meantime, when my realtor didn't hear back from theirs up there, I called and said, I called up Barry and said, no, I called a realtor out there. I called Frank Duran. Frank Duran found me someone to deal with there. That person reached out with my offer. Here's what I told her. I said, verbally say what I'm going to do, and if they want to see it in writing, we'll do it right now. I said, but I don't want to waste your time and mine if they don't like this offer. Right. So, but they never responded back to her at all. I mean, 0, like out of town, like nobody responded back.
That's especially a gas deal. I love gas deals.
It was crazy as shit. So, but meantime, that was like on a Thursday night or a Friday night, whatever it was. Meantime, I send the address to Barry and say, what do you think? So he wrote back an entire report, and it really had nothing to do with the property. It had to do with the economy in Scotts Bluff. He goes, we would never touch this. He goes, it's the economy is not growing here. He just goes over it, A, B, C, D, why he would never touch it there. It just doesn't fit what they do at all. The only reason it would fit us is my son would basically
and there's a Walmart
buy one of them.
There's a Walmart in this town.
Oh, it's one of the largest Walmarts around.
It might be a good investment.
Well, but the problem is they never even got back to us, so it's like insanity. Then you start going 18 months, they don't call back, what's wrong with this property?
Maybe the realtor, not the property, Mark. The person marketing the property is the problem. Was there a for sale sign on the property?
Yeah, there is. I found it on Zillow.
What are they asking for?
Did you attempt to even call them back?
So I know what the last one sold for. I know what the last 2 sold for, and they sold for $269.
A piece or total?
What?
A piece or total?
No, per unit.
Okay.
So I basically offered around $440 cash, but I didn't even get something back. I mean, I might have went up to $460. I mean, it wouldn't have been much more than that, but we got nothing. I mean, just, crickets. And then literally I would have sold one to my son, and then I would have rented the other one out, but he won't even be there a year.
So what are you thinking now, though? You're going to go with Vestera and Barry?
Well, no, that's totally different.
Your son needs a place to live up.
Yeah, we found him an apartment. The only reason I started looking is it's like nothing up there, man. The rental market is so tight up there, it's crazy.
$989.86. That's 303-989.86.
Hurt in a car crash? Get John Fuller on your side. Call Fuller.com.
630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station.
All right, folks, 303-713-8255. By the way, you can always check us out. Always, always, always on our Troubleshooter Network on YouTube.com. It's like a show within a show. In fact, we interact with people. It's a really good way to watch us. And, of course, when you're in the car, you want to listen to us on 630 KHOW. A lot of people didn't know this, but, hey, Dragon, what's our HD channel? 93.5 HD2. 93.5 HD2. You can listen to us on FM if you have a Tesla like I do with no AM. And then, of course, in Colorado Springs, KRDO. In Pueblo, KRDO has another, I think they have an FM and an AM there we're on. But anyhow, we're everywhere. And then, of course, our podcast, more than 50,000 people a month. Our podcast is just the bomb, man. But that's how it works. I got 2 lines open, 303-713-8255. If you've got a question, we're going to have an update coming up on a Mercedes soon. When Scott get in, who knows the answer?
He'll be in here about 1.
He's okay. We're going to have an update on that Mercedes, and I'll recap that. But it's a crazy update. The guy basically said the guy said a shop broke his steering column and his car wouldn't start. There was all kinds of problems, and the shop said, no, we didn't do anything wrong. It ended up over at Mercedes of Denver and got repaired. The repair was over $3,000. And we're going to find out what Mercedes of Denver thought and what Scott figured out. Was it the original shop's fault? Was it because the vehicle was old and it was a coincidence? But you get the idea. We're going to dig into that. And honest to God, I have no idea. I personally have no idea what the update is. I'm going to hear along with you guys. Now, it looks like Terrence was next. Oh, he just dropped off. So it looks like Janet is up. She's got a comment on the landlord issue. What's your comment, Janet?
Yeah, Mark, I just was wondering if the lady that is actually on the lease has any responsibility for the tenant that she brought in that the landlord is going to have to now remove.
Well, I think she would. Honestly, he could probably go after that. In fact, I'm pretty sure Brad O'Brien would agree with this, and I'm doing this just from memory off of calls that were similar. He could go after her maybe for any damages, like if he kicked the wall or did anything like that. Or he could go after her for breaking the lease and go after an eviction, but she's moving out. But if there was damages directly due to him and she's the one that let him in, I'm sure he could, but I'm not so sure there's any damages. I mean, can you imagine, Janet, the audacity of someone just saying, hey, I'm just going to stay here and not pay you anything? It's really crazy, but in this day, we hear these stories all over the country all the time. The more liberal the city, the more we hear them as well.
Well, it's an entitled country anymore, so I guess we shouldn't be shocked.
No, it's really crazy, though, to think that we have one listener on YouTube that had a guy move into, I forget the guy's name. It might be Dave H., but honestly, I don't remember who it is. But listen to this. He had like a detached garage from his house, and the detached garage is kind of in an alley in Denver. I would assume like the trash truck goes through the alley, stuff like that. But some dude moved into his detached garage and locked the doors and simply wouldn't leave. Do you remember that?
I do.
It was crazy. And I'm like, well, go down there. And I think I jokingly said I'd bring my German Shepherd down there and throw him in there and see who comes out first.
So what are his solutions in that situation?
Well, he called the cops, and the cops said, yeah, we can't do anything. We're not going to forcibly remove him. So he had to go through an eviction process. He had to evict a homeless guy that moved into his garage without him knowing.
So what's the time frame to call it breaking and entering?
That I can't tell you. Tom and I have argued about that. I have always said, and here's the deal. We go on vacation, we come home 2 weeks later, and there's someone in my house.
Getting mail.
Yeah, there's someone in my house. I've always said this. I'm shooting first and asking questions later. That's it. That's what I'm doing. I'm not going to ask him how long you've been there, what's going on. He's in my house. Make my day. It's just the way it goes. Right now, I would assume it's still legal. That's not legal advice to you. But I'm shooting first and asking questions later because they should not be in my house. I don't know the answer to that. It's one thing if someone has a lease and they stop paying rent, or the landlord claims they stopped paying rent. Maybe they didn't. Maybe the landlord just wants them out. I'm sure that's happened before. But it's one thing to do something like that where they were allowed to be there at one time. But the case, Henry, of this guy in the garage is just nuts. It's a homeless guy that literally moved into his garage, and he couldn't get rid of him. The cops wouldn't get rid of him. Nobody.
I have a comment on that. On our properties, we had homeless coming in, and the police advised us to put up no trespassing signs. So with the no trespassing signs, my sister and I were able to call the police, and with the no trespassing sign, the police will act. But without a no trespassing sign posted on the property, they won't do anything.
Think of how crazy that is.
That's incredible.
And that was going into your house, not just your garage.
It was going into the common area of the apartment.
Okay, I got
It
you.
wasn't actually a dwelling.
So it wasn't a dwelling, it was basically the hallway.
A hallway or storage shed next to the building.
How many properties do you have around, if you don't mind sharing? In Colorado is all I care about.
I have
Several.
six rentals and 3 apartment buildings.
And you're literally thinking, how long have you had them?
I've had them 40 years.
Okay, I'm going to tell people after this break. Janet, I appreciate your call. Hey, we do have lines open first time today. You need some help, I want to hear from you. 303-713-8255, 303 Martino. Wait till you hear what Bo is most likely doing. 40 years he's had property. Hold tight.
Units, I got 3 8 units and 1 20.
Oh, wow. Pretty good. Sweet.
Like Denver sucks.
Did you
For being a landlord.
Did you get them developed, or did you purchase
No, they're
them?
old property. They're Capitol Hill area.
Yeah.
Not used. Like my 20 unit, that was built in 1927.
Yeah.
But we rehabbed it, renovated all.
Yeah, for sure. And are you the I mean, obviously they're the landlord, but do you
Yeah,
use a
my
management company for
sister
that?
did a great job, but she got
Jim Needham.
Okay, so that's what you're saying.
Yeah, so we turned it over to a management company.
Yeah.
I wish we were still. And now the single family homes are still.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Bradley O'Brien, he was just on helping us out with that landlord that had some questions on getting rid of a tenant or a squatter for that matter. But listen, if you are a landlord in Denver and haven't redone that lease, or in Colorado, not just Denver, I want you to call him up. He can look at the lease you have now and maybe modify it, but you might be dealing with a lease you shouldn't be. He can also help you with buying and selling a house. He can look over a lease for a commercial property, or maybe somebody like an unmarried couple or a brother and sister or somebody buying a house together, and you got to create the LLC or however you want to form it. Anything real estate, residential, commercial, this guy can do it. Complicated stuff, straight up stuff, leasing, you get the idea. 720-370-7388. That's Bradley O'Brien, 720-370-7388 or olslaw.com. Now, theartofgranite.com, Suzanne and I have used so many times. It's insane. They did our upstairs bathroom, brand new cabinets, countertops, a whole bit. Downstairs, they just finished our master bathroom like not even 2 months ago. Absolutely gorgeous. We went with quartz down there. Then our kitchen, they did a portion of it. They did our full laundry room and another kitchen. Here's what I love about Mitch and the gang. They will actually give you an estimate right over the phone. I don't know of any other contractors that'll do it. They might need a picture of the current kitchen or bathroom, but they're going to tell you how much to get beautiful granite or whatever hard surfaces you want. And guess what? If they don't have the exact slab you want in their yard, you can use their wholesale account and go anywhere. Theartofgranite.com. That's theartofgranite.com. You can fire off Integra. I'm going to do them next hour. I'm going to spend some time on them. In fact, I'm going to try to get them on air.
Mark, you didn't finish house spots yesterday.
Yes, I did.
Oh, you didn't check them off.
Oh, I didn't. I might have not checked them. I definitely finished them. Let me see what I got, because I got to get on them right now.
I had a little sign.
Yep, I did retirement. I did not do renew.
Okay.
I'll do renew. I did 888. I definitely did Compass. I did Waterman, and I did Duran. He was in studio. So I do got to do renew, and I'll do that coming back.
I say roofs on here. If I can
Put that for Mark.
What's that?
I say roofs on the call screen.
Roofs.
If I can do a plug before we head out today, I'll be very grateful.
Who did?
Actually, I have a heating issue at one of my properties.
Oh, man.
Guy
My gosh.
Yeah, it's crazy. This is not the state to be a landlord, man.
You're having to deal with all of it.
Yeah, this one, yeah. All the heating, yeah. During that snowstorm, we had a big tree come down, almost crushed the neighbor's garage. And all the tree guys were busy because it was after the snowstorms.
You know, that whole time you thought something of his was on, you had a call going with Mike Robinson for 16 minutes.
He was on my phone talking to Mike.
Oh, well, it never hung up. And
He just never hung up. I got it.
I see.
Could you hear Mike?
Well, that's the noises you were hearing and the talking.
Oh.
So I hung it up.
That's funny.
It's appreciated. Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't hang up. I didn't know how to hang up your phone.
I just said I didn't know you were on his phone.
Mark, what's behind that phone? It's so heavy. It's like a big magnet.
What's that? Say it again?
Whole case?
No, that there's like a magnet behind your phone. It's really heavy. A piece of metal.
Oh, that's a stand.
This thing?
Yeah.
That's just a stand.
Oh, okay.
It's actually pretty small.
So Mike was on listening to us from last.
Yeah, I'm looking to get into real estate. If you had any advice for me, what would you do? Just
Vistara.
Yeah, and Denver is not
the right market.
Listen, because I'm here. I'm in town, and I drive by the stuff. And I was in the HVAC business, so I can look at all the properties. Yeah, but now it's not a good time to buy, especially with all the rules and regulations.
My fear is to get over leveraged. If it's held in an LLC and the property goes down a lot and start not having a lot of negative cash flow or something like that.
You want the LLC to keep people from suing you. I mean, you need to be prepared to always make your payment because you don't want to lose the property.
But when if the bank was to foreclose on a loan, would that be foreclosing on the LLC or me personally?
The banker would probably make you sign a document.
Was yesterday's guest Ryan Heberg or Hebrig?
Herbig. Why?
I'm just saving him to my phone.
Yeah, Ryan Herbig.
American Liberty.
Mortgage or lending. American Liberty. I forget what it is.
American Liberty.
Might be finance.
10 seconds, guys.
Day and tomorrow. Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
All right, listen, we have got a lot cooking next hour. We're going to have some updates. I got some open lines, 303 Martino, 303-713-8255. Also, I put a poll up on our YouTube channel, and the majority of people think the government's going to shut down tomorrow, but it was a lot closer than I thought. I think it was like 56-44. I'm pretty sure we're going to have a government shutdown tomorrow. And this all happened pretty quickly when, basically the administration coming in decided they didn't want to have all the pork in it. I mean, simple as that. There's all kinds of reasons that bill got wiped, and I hope the Republicans stick together and, just get it done, get a new bill. But that's it. We've got a lot more coming up. In fact, we just had another deputy walk in. It's a good time to call with any problems. 303 Martino. We'll see you guys in a few minutes.
That's half of it.
And
I followed the claim. I showed my video, my dash cam video that he tied the claim. I've had our insurance company working on it. And just
Was that the rock through your celery?
Yeah.
God, I remember that call.
Yeah.
For your celery and water?
See a picture of it? Yeah.
Oh, no.
I'm Dimitri.
Was it your insurance company that denied the claim?
Mayonnaise?
No, the trucking company. I would just rather pay out of pocket.
So what was it happen in a nutshell?
I was following this truck, not even following him. I was
And then it hit your sunroof?
Yeah, it almost hit me.
You were lucky you didn't get it right through your head.
I know, but I mean their insurance doesn't care at all.
So did you claim it on your insurance or bottom line?
No, it was paid out of pocket for it.
You should totally take him to small claims court. He'll
The
cost you.
insurance?
Jesus.
No, the trucking company. Did you see that video?
I thought it was a little like a star, like a little crack.
Our son was going down, 83 from Parker to Colorado
That's right.
Springs.
It's a beautiful drive.
It is, but and it's like 55,
Yeah.
60 plus. He
There's the
wasn't a
truck.
new driver, but he's probably
Yeah, I chased him down. I was like flashing.
in a
my hazards
landscaping truck. We kept the rock this big. He's driving a
So,
Santa Fe.
even-
How they say this big.
on. Not my fault.
Bounces on the road,
My
comes
road's
in
covered.
through his windshield. Dimitri, he was in a no service area. How the glass shattered all the way to the back of the Santa Fe.
He's lucky his head didn't shatter all the way back.
He's lucky he had
5470.
shades on.
Yes.
And he didn't have glass in his eyes. It was so scary looking at that.
I threw
my
it
gosh.
out. Yeah.
He finally got service enough to give us a call. We went out and rescued him and drove that thing back to the windshield glass folks. But the glass
I'm not sure. They
was
didn't
in the
give me a
vents.
reason. They just said claim denied.
It just was in everywhere.
It's probably still there.
Oh, probably
I'll
so.
bet you a
We
lot of
sold
it
the
is
vehicle,
still
but
there.
you're right. Probably
You
so.
never show up the video.
Oh
I
yeah,
sent
it was
them.
just
They said that
really
they couldn't determine where the rock originated.
Probably so, especially going that
Yeah, it's
fast.
pretty obvious.
You're,
I mean,
he's
there's not
17,
that rock.
18, probably going beyond the speed limit, right? And
There's no
down
way
that
that
road,
just,
it's
like,
easy to do
was
that when
sitting
you're
on the
headed
road and
towards
got
the
kicked up.
springs. It's just
Just
scary.
the trajectory of it too, because if you
Yeah.
get stuck, it's like a long.
That rock would have just
Yeah.
the windshield stress.
Yeah, oh.
It had to have bounced.
It's horrible to think about.
I have it on video, so.
Luckiest day of his life.
Yeah.
So congratulations to all of you.
Yeah. Wow. I never thought of it like that, but you're right.
Look at
But
that.
with Henry, that rock comes through your freaking sunroof, man. I mean, that's crazy too.
I know.
Was it a big rock? Oh, because the rock that
Surprised
came
they
through our
could.
son's windshield was this big.
That's a boulder.
Yeah.
So
Where did that come from?
It wasn't that big.
our son was going down 83 from Franktown to the Springs, and it came out of a landscaping truck.
Oh, it was horrible.
It was this big?
It was
Huge.
this. I kept the rock.
We have it.
Oh, it was scary. The glass was all the way to the back of the Santa Fe.
If he didn't have sunglasses on, he'd probably be blind, honestly.
It was all in his vents. It just was.
Did he pull the truck over and get their insurance?
No, it was too far late. I mean, he was going 60 plus.
The
when it
vehicle had to be
happened.
towed. You couldn't even see.
No, we drove it back.
We did?
He and I did.
I didn't know.
Yeah, it was a slow go, let me tell you, but we did it.
Enough air velocity to propel a rock that way.
Oh, it bounced off the ground and then came up into the windshield.
The insurance cover it?
So we had glass coverage.
Yeah.
So
Your policy or their policy?
they were hopeless. They were gone. They didn't know what happened.
There's not even cell coverage here.
Yeah, we couldn't do anything. He couldn't.
He couldn't drive and even get close to him. I mean, it was bad, man. He's lucky he didn't kill him.
Serious.
Yeah, that's just what Dee said. Like, just
Said it
lucky
was the
he's not
luckiest day of
dead.
his life.
But
You should see it's sitting
Mark-
right on our bookcase. It's this
yeah,
big.
but Mark Henry had a rock come through his sunroof.
Oh my God.
How that didn't hit you in the head?
That's
man.
how fast were you going?
65, 70.
That's
And it just
scary.
hit the sun. Did it do any other damage?
It shattered it, didn't it?
Right through the sunroof, yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Did you have glass everywhere?
Yeah, it was horrible. It sounded like a bomb went off, too.
Yeah, that's scary.
Did you hear about the snake that went through the sunroof?
No.
Stop
This guy-
that.
No, this guy
Yeah,
in Florida, this is about 2 years ago, this guy was driving with the sunroof open, and a snake got kicked up by the wheels. A
Oh,
poisonous
hell
snake
no.
of a vehicle in front of him, just like that rock. And, well, yours came off the truck, but the snake flew up through the air and right into the guy's open sunroof.
Did it bite him?
No, it ran away. You know, it hid somewhere under one of the seats. He pulled over, and then
surprised it didn't kill the snake. I mean, when you got.
I'd never go to Florida again.
they somehow got the snake, you know, to
As in
get
like
out of the car.
I was driving
Goes
down the
out.
highway the other day, and I guess it was a while ago, and a little garter snake popped its head out from like one of the vents in the Jeep.
In
Yeah.
your car?
Yeah.
In your,
It was in the car.
Oh, that's
Not inside. It was on like the hood. So I'm just like, what is that? And I pulled over, and there's a snake in my intake vent.
Yeah, I've always been concerned about bird poop falling in the center. But when I read about the snake, that was enough for me. I keep it closed.
That's your drive? Question mark.
Hey, I got a snack on the way. If I grab it, will you let me back in?
Yeah, I'll give you my badge. Just let me know when you're getting it.
I want to be locked out.
Oh, I'll give you mine, but it's a tape from my notebook. Here, you want to take mine?
Yeah,
I'll give him my badge.
Either way, cool.
You got to take the book. I
have an update for you on that guy's RV.
All right.
Oh, cool.
Sweet, thank you.
Yep, we'll do it.
For
Absolutely.
Because without that badge, Killer gets mad.
Why?
Well, if I don't have a badge, then I have to tax search this stuff.
Wow.
So I learned a lesson. So I tape it. That way it's always with me.
Did you get with Chris?
You mean about scheduling?
No, just nothing.
Yeah, I got it.
Nap time, Kelly.
You guys ever been to Lazy Dog?
I'm wondering.
It's the one in Highlands.
Yeah, I'm wondering about your own
That's
schedule.
where we're going.
Mark just has a Zoom from like 2 to 2:30. Then we can go over there. But I don't know if you guys.
My husband wouldn't like this, but
Yeah.
I went to the one in Highlands.
Oh, where's Highland?
It's like 38.
he wouldn't like what I'm eating.
Oh, nobody does.
No, this is
Oh, shit.
470.
Not true.
And
You were the only one.
This one's pretty brand
Not
new.
true.
You don't count.
Highlands Ranch.
Not true.
Rabbit.
If you've never been,
470 and above.
That's
Not
like
my-
irrelevant.
News at 4 on 630 K-How.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Welcome, my friends, to the only show of its kind. We're here to solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, try to make your life a little bit better. Maybe you got a bad landlord. God, we had a lot of landlord calls the first 2 hours. Maybe a contractor ripped you off. Maybe you got a problem with an auto mechanic, any kind of malicious merchant. You get it. You get it. That's what this show's about. Over $300 million. Think of that number, and it's actually a lot more than that, but that's the number we put on it right now. $300 million over a 45-year period in cash merchandise, exchanges, refunds, services, directly due to this show. You got a problem, pick up that phone right now, 303-713-8255, 303-Martino. I do want to tell you about Paul the Waterman. Suzanne and I had him out. It's been probably 5 or 6 months now. Had a water softener put in. Suzanne absolutely loves it. I love it. It's actually a lot lower maintenance than I ever thought. All you really do is add salt, maybe every 4 or 5 months. I mean, we've never let it get down to like empty, but there's really no maintenance to it. The water quality is so much better. It's remarkable, and it's good for the pipes, everything else. It really is. But Water Pros has these systems half the cost of the other guys. In fact, if you've been looking at a system and had a quote, call these guys, and I bet you anything they're half the price, if not more. Waterpros.net. You can also get point-of-use systems that are right there, but you get the idea. Waterpros.net. Paul's the owner. He's a great guy.
I was just going to ask you, Mark, I know when we first got it, you were concerned about like the changing the taste of the water and whatnot. You haven't noticed anything, have you?
I don't notice any change. It's so weird when you add salt to something, but the water doesn't go through there. It's just crazy. I kind of always thought that, but no, there's absolutely no change in the water whatsoever. Deputy Dimitri joins us. What's up, Deputy D?
Hey, Mark, got an update on that weird RV case. Remember the guy who's homeless, lived in his RV? The police came, tracked him down one night.
He took his tools
They shot a tracking dart into Denver, was chasing him down.
Yeah.
He claimed that he didn't see him.
Right.
And apparently they put a tracking dart in the RV.
Yeah, and then they eventually made use of that tracking dart, came and got him, hauled away to the slammer, hauled away his RV, impounded it. when he got out of the slammer in Denver, he said that he was extradited out to, I want to say Missouri.
Yeah, I think it was Missouri.
He claims for a traffic ticket, but
they don't extradite on a traffic ticket.
No, that was Deputy Chopper's observation in an email that he sent me. He also mentioned that DPD is not going to shoot a tracking dart into a vehicle for a moving violation. For a traffic ticket.
Yeah, so in other words, something was sketchy about this guy in every place.
Oh, he didn't even know. Remember, he said he didn't even know what jail he went to.
He didn't even know a police arrested him.
No, he didn't know which city impounded his RV. So
he did know
the
color of his shoes. Because I asked him that because he knew nothing else.
Yeah, but we don't know that for a fact. We haven't seen his shoes yet.
That's true.
But so I started with Aurora Police.
But the whole reason he was calling was because he had a bunch of tools.
Yeah, apparently he ekes out a meager living using these tools, and he said either $2,000 or $4,000 worth of power tools, something. Either way, it's a lot of tools, and they were important to him. So I wanted to help him find them. He gave up on getting the RV back, and that's probably a good thing because I doubt he has insurance. I mean, he doesn't sound like a really responsible guy.
Well, I don't even think the RV ran at this point. And he also said he didn't even care about the RV.
The RV wasn't really his.
Yeah, he didn't even.
He bought it from salvage or bought it from the storage unit.
Dragon's absolutely right.
He has
a bill of sale.
He has a bill of sale, which is enough to prove ownership. But unfortunately for him, he never registered it.
Nor did the people that sold it to him.
Yeah, because it was abandoned in their storage yard.
Yeah.
So they didn't register it either.
No, but they should have went through and did it properly. Then they would have had a title to transfer to him, or at least to give to him.
Yeah, he says that they did go to court, he describes it as some kind of paperwork, but he doesn't have the title. But that's not going to make any difference anyway, because he has neither a title nor registration in his name, and that's going to become really important here in a minute. Aurora Police told me that they don't have the RV.
Where is it?
It's in Denver. So I use this website. I forgot what it's called, but you can plug in a VIN number or a license plate, and it will tell you which impound yard has your RV or your vehicle.
I had no idea.
So I tracked it down to Denver. And, I contacted the sheriff's office who operates that impound yard, and they told me they really took my request very seriously. And they told me that they're not going to let the guy in because their policy is you have to be the registered owner of a vehicle for them to let you go in and remove personal property from this vehicle.
And if you recall, I kind of had this conversation with you on air because I was like, man, all he's got is his bill, this receipt, and I could make that on any computer in 10 seconds.
That's what they told me.
Yeah.
They said that they do, incur some kind of liability. And they're really concerned about that. Now, by contrast, however, I spoke with Aurora to see what their policy is, and they told me they would have accepted just that bill of sale.
Well, yeah, but there's no gang members running around in Aurora.
Well, not anymore. I think they nabbed them all from that kidnapping a couple of days ago.
Yeah, 19 of them, grabbing people's fingernails, the whole bit.
Right, yeah, but according to the mayor of Aurora, there is no gang problem. And according to him, the problem lies with the so-called slumlord that operates the edge of Lowry Apartments.
Yeah, he's running around trying to collect rent by ripping off people's fingernails? Is that what he's trying to say there?
I'm not sure, but it's a mess. But anyway, to get back to this guy's RV, so my contact at the Denver Sheriff's Office she's a very nice lady. She's very sympathetic to this guy's cause. And she actually spoke with the sheriff himself. And the sheriff said that he has no authority to waive this policy. The RV is going to be scrapped. It's not suitable for resale.
Not at all. What do they do with the contents?
Well, it's going to get hauled away to the scrapyard.
Oh, so whatever's in it's in it?
Yeah, whatever's in it is in it. Now, she is going to find out what scrapyard is going to go to, because I have some content, I'm in the recycling industry, and so I'm personal friends with a bunch of guys at various scrapyards. So if I find out where it's going, if it's one of the yards where I have my personal contacts, I'll call and say, hey, Joe, can you let me into this thing?
How does that work when something like an RV goes over, or even a car? I mean, at some point, someone's got to go through it looking for stuff. I mean, why wouldn't they?
Oh, they do, because they do find, I've seen the process.
Yeah.
They comb through the vehicles.
Yeah, why wouldn't they?
Because they get money, they get tools, they get guns, they get all kinds of stuff that's valuable.
Especially in an RV. Who knows what's in there?
Especially in an RV. Now, I would be afraid to go into an RV without a hazmat suit because of the meth.
Well, especially this
you know,
guy's.
Yeah, I mean, you know, because you can touch something or you can stir up dust and die
Is he
from
even
it.
back in Colorado?
No, he can't get a bus ticket. I believe he's in Kansas City. So he hasn't been able to even get a bus ticket, but he has a brother and an aunt out here, and they were willing to go out and pick up the tools. So anyway, the poor guy, I mean, Daniel, I don't know what his background is. It's probably not really bright, but he's not. The long story is he's not getting the RV. He's not getting his tools.
I got a question about this,
Yeah.
Dimitri.
Mhm.
So you were able to find this website where you could punch
That's
in
cool.
a VIN number.
Mhm.
Is it possible we can find out who the original owner of the RV is so we can contact him to get access for his...
Not through that website,
Yeah, but this
remember,
guy is not
abandoned
going to
it.
have a nickel, though. He can't afford a bus ticket, let alone to register something.
Well, also, we're probably, even if we track down the titled owner of this vehicle, that's the owner who abandoned it in the first place. That person is either dead or in jail or moves, you know. So I don't think it's a good idea, Bo. It's not going to do us any good. So.
That's insane.
So unfortunately, case is closed just a couple of days before Christmas. The guy's not going to get his tools.
Yeah, but he's not even here to get him. If you did get it figured out, that's the other part. I guess we could have put his tools somewhere.
Well, I would have given it. He told me he has his aunt and brother living here in the metro area. I would have given the tools to them.
That sucks.
It does.
I don't know what else you would do, though. Honestly, without proof of ownership, there'd be so many things going on. All right, 303-713-8255. I want to ask you guys something. I don't want you to answer right now, but it's that time of year you start thinking, how much am I going to give to the trash guy? How much am I going to give to the maids? How much am I going to give to whomever?
To the deputies.
To the deputies. Oh, Lord. Oh, did I ask for it here? But really, the one I was thinking about is our trash. How much do you give to the trash guys? And what do you do if the trash guys literally have been changed out 4, 5, 6 times over the last year? 2 or 3 different companies, different people all the time. I might be tipping someone that's never been there before. And then it's not like I'm going to give it to them and they're going to track down the person it usually is. But I'd like your thoughts on that after this.
We need your...
Long enough. Yeah. 5 minutes, easy.
We give the same thing every year.
Well, I don't want to eat it in here, so you throw away. Figured I'd go inhale as much as I can.
Literally. We get them a 6-pack of IPA, and we go out there when they come on the curb, and we're like, here you go. Thanks. Don't care who it is. Don't care how many times they've been switched out.
Joe Chiano, my friend at mymoneymyway.com. Joe, people ask all the time, when is a good time to get out of the stock market?
Good morning. Thanks.
That is the number one question there, Mark. Jordan here as well.
Hey, man.
We're talking about just finding the right time. You really, I would say, anybody who's 59 and a half, you have provisions in your 401ks that a lot of times you can do what's called in-service rollovers. These are great times to take advantage of that. Roll it over to a secure income product, just like we talk about with My Money, My Way. And get those bonuses, the incentives, the long-term care, and of course, a paycheck for the rest of your life.
And those bonuses, like someone puts 100,000 in, what are the bonuses? 15%?
15,000 in that example. You got it. So
Yeah, they get to use that money to grow that annuity instantly too. It's basically like depositing 115,000.
You got it. And that's a great way to look at it. If you have that money sitting around in an old IRA, old 401k, or if it is a current one and you're 59 and a half and older, we can help you. And that's what we do at Become the Banker.
Jordan, you were punching numbers for us a while back. Suzanne and I were talking to you.
Okay, what's your name?
And, at age 50, you put a couple 100,000 maybe from a 401k or an IRA or from wherever, and let that thing grow for like 15 years to your 64, 65. You're going to start thinking of taking Social Security. It was absolutely amazing. I mean, you're looking at an additional $3,000 to $4,000 a month, especially with that bonus money kicking in. And that, it didn't matter if we lived to 70 or we lived to 110. That was guaranteed money we were going to get. Guaranteed money we were going to get till the day we died. You can do it as a couple. You can do individuals. It's just crazy. And then the rollover aspect is wonderful. But I want people out there to call Jordan. Ask them the questions. Talk to these guys. Go to mymoneymyway.com. If you've been hearing about it and you haven't made the call, just do it. Call up, do a Zoom with them, have a conversation, say I'm this age, maybe you're in your 60s and you want to convert it and start taking income immediately and not wait a while. They can do that, but they'll give you the actual numbers. Call up, ask the questions. Might be exactly what you've been looking for. MyMoneyMyWay.com. Now, I'm going to tell you about Sheridan Auto Tech. Uncle Kevin, if you want a place to bring your vehicle, they'll keep it maintained. Maybe you need brakes, they can do the brakes. Maybe you need a diagnostic because something's funky monkey on it. They can do that. They also have the best warranty around. You ready? 3-year, 36,000 miles nationwide. So let's say you had an alternator or a starter, brake job done here, you go on vacation, something's awry, the starter breaks or something, you're going to be able to go somewhere and get it fixed wherever you're at. You can't beat that deal anywhere. Sheridan Auto Tech, they're great guys. SheridanAutotech.com. And I mean that. They're great people.
Indiana?
John Fuller, Fuller Law. Here's a guy that I've used personally twice. Suzanne and I got T-boned by a lady screaming at her kids in the back of her SUV. Every airbag, car totaled. It was drastic. It was horrible. Horrible. By the time we got back from the ER the next day, we ended up calling John Fuller. He got right on the case. We dealt with John directly. We had a ton of questions. Should we just go see our primary care physician? Should we do this? What should we do here? Should we use our med pay for this? John answers all the questions. He applies the dollars in the best way possible. He got us maximum benefit. He got us every cent that lady had in her insurance policy. We got the max. And then he negotiated a lot of the bills down with the doctors in the hospital, putting more money in our pocket. He's incredible. You want an attorney you're going to deal with, that's John Fuller. In fact, he actually comes in and does his show occasionally. 303-597-4500, or check him out at callfuller, F-U-L-L-E-R, callfuller.com. I can tell, I'm going to do this on air, but I can tell cheap tippers.
How can you tell?
I'll call you guys out.
I already know how you tell.
I'll tell you exactly where I'm at.
Do you want me to tell you how you tell?
No, I don't think you know how.
Okay, let's hear your assessment of my tipping.
I'll do it on here.
Okay.
You already know my tipping.
Yes.
Are you a good tipper too?
I'm probably a better tipper than Mark would like me to be.
It depends.
Probably. I mean, you know.
I took kids in the Olive Garden, and we had spectacular service. She gave us some drinks to go and filled up.
All right, so Jesse's at the doctor.
You know what's weird
I'm pretty
about
sure I know
Olive
what
Garden now? And other restaurants are doing it too. They put that kiosk down at the end. So instead of, like, she comes over and gets the credit card, they put that thing, last time we went to Olive Garden.
It's like a little iPad thing.
It's like
right on the table. That's common.
Yeah, it's so weird because I think that actually kind of takes away from what a tip would be.
Do you think this would be a good thing on air? Do you think those things generate more tips from the
No.
I don't know.
It generates less.
I think it would generate less.
But it's sort of like, okay, I'm done with you.
That still be in by 150.
Cash out when you want.
That should be.
You know?
And not come back.
Yeah. Are you going to assess Henry too? What kind of tipper Henry is?
Kids are different. I say
don't know.
kids.
I think
people in their 20s, they grew up in a different world than we did with tipping.
Oh, yeah, no. So
Don't talk about it.
We're going to talk about it on air.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can get into this.
Nobody cares.
Got an opinion on this.
I got an opinion on this.
Interesting piece of consumer news this morning out of CFPB. They issued a final rule on overdraft fees. They kept
10 seconds.
Check or
This hour from the Trajan Wealth K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com.
All right, 303-713-8255. I asked about tipping. And what do you give your garbage guy? I just want to ask these guys. First of all, I think I can tell if people are good tippers or not. I honestly can, just by kind of looking at them. It's not fair with Suzanne because, we've been together for 31 years, so, But I can look at Dimitri. Have I ever asked you about tipping ever?
No,
Zero.
This is the first time I've heard of it.
And then, that's it. Never have. Bo, have I asked you?
This is Marc Mager first for me.
Yeah, and, that's pretty much it. Henry, have we ever talked about tipping? Henry Brett's
We have
Excel
not.
Roofing. So I'm gonna say a good tip. Let's all agree on good, better, best. Or no, let's agree on let's do it like chili. It's going to be mild, medium, or hot. That's how we're going to do it. So I would say a mild tip would be under 10%. Okay? A medium tip I'm going to say is going to be 18%. And a good tip I'm going to say is at, what do you guys think, 25, 30?
25.
Dragon, I see you in there. What's your idea of a good tip?
Well, I'm a medium at best.
Yeah, but what's an idea of what will you consider a good tip?
15 to 18, yeah.
No, but that's not what I'm saying.
Hot tip. We
And
get
it's-
mild, medium, and hot, Mark.
A hot tip would be what, 30% or 20?
Or above. Yeah.
30% or above.
Yeah.
That's good. So I'm going to say Dimitri is a mild tipper. Am I right?
No. Well, wait a minute. Is 20% for a server? Is that mild? or
I'd
is
say
that-
that's medium.
Really?
Is
I
that what
thought-
you always give?
I automatically unless service really.
Do you hit the button
blows.
20%?
I usually just do it in my head.
Now,
Because normally I get a check, a paper check, and then I pay with a card and then sign the receipt.
what do you do for a trash guy?
I don't have my own trash guy because I live in a common area and there's dumpster service.
So you don't pay a trash guy.
Exactly.
How about a mail person, a USPS here?
Well, I use a P.O. box. So
What about a maid?
I think he's living his life to get out of tips.
Think of all the money I save by contracting for
And
these
he's a
services.
recycler, so he doesn't need to.
I assume you don't have a maid.
I don't have a maid.
Who else would he tip?
Your hair person.
Oh, well, that's a huge tip. So the barbershop where I go, she charges $24,
Jesus.
but I always give her a check for $45.
That is a huge tip.
Yeah,
That's a hot tip.
That's
more than
because
a good tip.
because I think she really underprices her service.
Yeah, I mean, a cheap haircut now at, Sports Clips or wherever is like $40.
Yeah, so I just always pay $45.
And Dragon, you said 15 to 18, that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I'm pretty cheap.
How about a trash guy? Mail
I
person.
pay the trash company. The trash company pays the trash guy.
Okay. How about the mailman, mail woman, mail person?
I haven't mailed anything with USPS in I don't know how long.
So 0. All right, Henry Bratz, you're in your 20s.
Yeah.
So I think, personally, people in their 20s grew up a little different than we did.
Yeah.
Everything was like 15% up until basically COVID in my life, and everything changed after that. But you kind of grew up through this entire deal. So what's a good tip to you? If you go to, I don't know, any given restaurant, nothing fancy, not McDonald's, a normal, Applebee's kind of thing, what do you tip?
My go-to is usually 20, and my rule of thumb is I have to sit down and they have to do something. But it feels like there's a lot of pressure to tip on nothing.
Okay, Starbucks, do you tip the barista?
So that's a funny one you bring up, because I went to a coffee shop and I got a Coke, and I went and got it out of the refrigerator and went and paid for it. And
they want to tip.
I got a lot of heat for not tipping on that.
Well, what's a lot of heat? How'd they call you out? I'm curious.
I just heard about it later because, of course, the cashier was like a friend of a friend, and then I was called a cheap tipper for not giving him a tip on like an $8 soda. Yeah, I mean,
Grabbing
it was a
your
Coke.
own soda. Wow.
There is a line between a tip and a handout.
I'd never tip in that circumstance.
If you serve yourself, that's a handout, not a tip.
As far as the garbage person.
But then the problem is he gets tip shamed. That's exactly what he's saying.
Well, that's the pressure I feel. But with the garbage person, I mean, our garbage person, he takes out like overflowing garbage.
Yeah.
He leaves us a Christmas card. We usually give him $100 and a nice thank you at the end of the year.
Damn! Look at this kid rolling in the dough.
He's been the same guy for the past couple years, and we know him by name, and he takes care of all of our trash.
Will he take electronics?
Everything, pretty much.
Well, okay, if I had him, I might. I tried to throw a TV away one time, and the damn thing ended up on my curb 4 weeks in a row. They dig it out of the trash and put it back.
Yeah. I don't know a single time that we've left something out there he hasn't taken.
So you put it like an old college fridge out there, he's going to take it?
Yes.
Okay, you know what? I would tip that guy $100.
I have heard for like a food service though, if you are standing, people are not going. If you're standing when you order, people are not going to tip. So if you're sitting, then they will tip.
Not at Starbucks. Yeah. People seem to tip all the time.
True. Yeah.
I don't. I'd never tip at a McDonald's ever.
I feel like
do you tip through the drive-thru?
Do I tip through the drive-thru?
Yeah, like at a Starbucks.
Okay.
Like Santiago's, that's our main.
That's the only drive-thru we'll go through is maybe Santiago's for a breakfast burrito. I'll usually leave $1. I don't care how much it was. I'll give $1.
Okay, we've tipped our trash people the same thing for the last 20-something years.
And how much is that?
Usually I make pumpkin bread, and then I give them a 6-pack of IPA.
She throws away a full case of beer.
Well, that's sweet.
Wow.
What about you, Bo?
Yeah, Bo, are you, well, first of all, I'm going to look at Bo and say he's a good tipper. I'm going to say he's in that 25 plus on a normal restaurant.
I'm a medium tipper.
Okay, good. Good. You know,
the trash guy, I tip about $20, $25 because I have an acre of ground and I'm always setting out. I'm always supposed to put out 4 lawn and leaf bags, but a lot of times I put out 8 to 10. But I'm always there to help him load it up.
Our newest trash company we have in Franktown, and everybody's got a different trash company. So when I say Franktown, that's where we're at. Our new one has been exceptional lately. I don't think they've missed one thing. But 3 months ago, prior to them, it was the worst damn trash ever. So I guess I'll probably, I don't know, what are we going to tip the trash guy?
I don't know. You usually make that call.
And then what point's the cutoff? Here's another one. So, like, our trash comes on what, Wednesdays?
That's right.
That's Christmas, right?
Yeah, but you can give a year end.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, if you miss the cutoff, are you free and clear?
No, because they'll come Thursday.
So they'll come
the day after.
I think it's
where
like a
I
late
find you
Christmas
cheap,
gift.
where you're a cheap tipper?
Where?
I don't mean this as any offense to you, but I'm always a little surprised.
Strip joints where?
When we go to hotels, the maids.
Yeah.
I always think, oh gosh, we should leave them like $5 to $10 a day.
I'm
sure I'm over tipping. I'm sure.
Here's where I am with that. If it's great service in the hotel, but how many times just the last hotel we were at?
Well, Green Valley Ranch. I'm talking about the maid.
I'm talking the last hotel we were at was a few days ago.
Yeah, well, they didn't come.
The maid never showed up.
Yeah,
it
was every other day, and we were there 2 nights.
Yeah, and I don't like when hotels come every other day.
I'm talking about like when we go to Vegas.
Yeah.
And, we're staying in a nice hotel.
Yeah, sometimes I do.
Yeah.
Don't those maids get paid, though?
Of course they do.
Well,
of course
why
they
has it
do.
got to be up to you?
Well,
so I worked in a hotel for 7.5 years, and unfortunately, I'm going to give you guys some bad news. They actually have to pool their tips.
So you're not even tipping who's
No,
there.
if it's cash, I
Correct.
can't imagine they still pool them, right?
Yeah, if it's cash, it goes in the pocket.
It depends.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think that last one at Green Valley, I might have left the equivalent of $10.
Okay.
I think I did. We left, it sounds so bad. We left all the change we acquired over the trip. I left some of those betting tickets that you don't want to walk to go cash in because they're for like $1
Do you think
or whatever
you
they're
give
for.
chips anymore, like in the casino, or is it just all tickets?
Well, the table games are chips.
Yeah, you toss them a chip for poker.
Yeah, so those are all chips. But everything else, slot machines, video poker, everything like that is they print these damn tickets out. So you could end up with, 5 of these tickets are like 86 cents each. So I left those. I left the actual. Look at Dimitri over there shaking his head. Go ahead.
No, I think that's a really good idea. But God, I didn't know who pays out. What kind of a game do you play that pays out 86 cents?
Buffalo.
Yeah, we were chasing the buffalo. No, all kinds
Slot
of games.
machine.
Really?
Slot machine.
Okay.
Yeah, all kinds of games.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just it doesn't matter what they pay out.
It's a penny slot machine where it's $10 a roll, but you get 80 cents back.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so the penny slot machines, this is funny as hell. The average penny slot machine is $8 a pull. So it's $8 a pull. So when you get below, you put 100 in, you get below $8, then you bet 7, 6, 5, and then pretty soon you can't bet any less, and you're down to 80 cents.
Wait a minute, but I thought a penny slot machine means you only need a penny to...
Oh, hell no.
It's very deceiving.
I don't even know why they call them penny slot machines. I, for the life of me, have no idea why they're called penny slot machines. I've never played one that
They're 1 cent, but it's
$4 or $8.
Like you get it's a 800-cent pull.
Yeah,
for your max benefits.
Okay, I haven't been to
And
Vegas
you don't put pennies in them.
I haven't been to Vegas in like 10 years. Do they still have the video poker
That's our
machines
favorite.
at the bar?
It's our favorite.
It's our favorite thing
Pretty
to do.
sure.
Really? They still have those?
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
And it's a quarter pull for the video.
Oh, hell no. I hit a 5 times when we were out there, not even 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. So picture video poker, but instead of just one 5 card, okay, you get 5. And the bottom one, whatever you keep, you get on the other 4. Okay? Now, the stuff you're going to trade in and get something else is different on every hand. I got 4 aces and like a jack. So I kept the 4 aces, which keeps them on all 5 hands. Right. And then on 2 of them, I had a 2 and a 4. That paid, I cashed out at $1,700 or $1,800.
We were living large.
Yeah, so that was the best hand I've ever had in video poker. But each hand I was playing was not a quarter. Each hand was probably $10, $5, somewhere around.
But can you still just put a quarter in the machine? Is that?
No.
There's
That
one.
doesn't show how long it's been since I've been to
There's a casino downtown Vegas. Where's that
Horseshoe?
one? Where's the one I like playing poker?
El Cortez.
Or El Cortez.
The blackjack, not poker, right?
Do you toss
Blackjack.
them a chip when you play poker?
Oh, if I told you my Vegas tossing a chip story.
Yes, Henry. You,
Yes.
you do. When you play poker, you got chips.
Yes.
Do they have single deck blackjack anymore?
Yes, they do. Well, double deck. There might be a single deck. But hold on. Someone asked about the quarters. The El Cortez has a few machines that you literally still put change in. 303-713-8255. Cliff, I promise I'll come to you after this.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Dan Kaplis today at 4, 630 K8.
That's what I was going to say on the
Although they're starting to think if you're American, they are going to get one.
I don't
But you can
mind
tell
it
when they're
because,
just working a tip or
you know, when
whether
I
they're not
taught
expecting it.
swimming and diving lessons,
Yeah.
I made a shit ton of tips at the end of usually it was like a 2-week class. And I spent infants
For
what?
usually had 4 weeks. Yes,
Right?
correct.
That's my
Correct.
problem.
But the parents would be like, "Thank God, you're saving my child from not drowning. Here's $20," and that's usually about what we get is like $20 bills or whatever. It's like they visited the ATM and that was it.
20 years in the food service. No, you don't need to tip me. The company pays me.
So you never had a tip jar out at Subway?
No.
You never did?
No. Don't get me wrong. People offered me tips.
really old guys that work there.
Discount bath. How many contractors out there
Okay.
will put the word discount in? These guys are great. They've been out to our house. I don't care if you want to tear down walls, make the closet bigger, maybe put in another vanity if it's an older home and you don't have to. Maybe get rid of the tub, make that more closet space,
never really
and
did
then
it
put a
because
shower
we
in.
get
I mean, you name it, these
the
guys can do it.
session,
Or they can
what we
just
call
come
it,
out
every
and take
2
that
weeks.
old tub and
So you
turn it
gotta think
into a
of-
walk-in with a low
started in
threshold,
May,
or really whatever you want to do, but I
the end of
love their
August.
pricing. The quality of
And
the work is
so,
wonderful.
every
The pricing is great.
we get,
And on
I
top
don't
of
know,
that, the
7 or 8,
warranties are wonderful.
depending
5
on how
years,
many
parts
kids
and
we
labor,
had in
everything
class.
they do. They can help you
these
with the
cars.
design. They can give you a free quote right at your
opened
house
them
and give you ideas.
until I
But check them out at discountbath.com.
and
That's
I always accepted, and I was
discountbath.com.
like,
Now, we had them on the show
blah, blah,
last
blah.
hour helping out with a landlord
I
trying to
never
get rid of a
opened them.
squatter.
They
That's Bradley
always-
O'Brien.
Always had cash.
He owns a law practice. It's a team of skilled real estate attorneys. He, of course, is a principal. But here's what I love about him. He can do seller financing reviews, any kind of contract reviews. He can look over any kind of buying or selling docs. Maybe you're looking at leasing a building, commercial property somewhere, or even leasing an apartment, and you want to understand what you're signing. He can help you with that. He can help with complicated deals. He can help with property line disputes, easements, access to anything, adverse possessions, liens. He can do everything. He can walk you through an eviction. He can do the eviction for you. If you want a great attorney that knows everything about real estate, that's Bradley O'Brien. You'll hear him on this show all the time. 720 370-7388. 720-370-7388.
No, this is the one where they just friggin' added on. It's like
What's up,
it's like
Scott?
20%.
Howdy. We got to do that
and then
update, brother.
They'll ask you, hey, if you want to tip more,
I still don't know what it
add
is.
it in here.
No, you don't.
And I'm like, fuck you. No,
You're a
I'm
cheap
not doing
tipper,
that.
I bet.
First of all,
You're not?
that great.
No, hell no.
You're a good tipper.
I'm a good tipper.
And that's the thing. It's like, okay,
Medium to high.
where's the incentive for you to actually want to serve
What you
me?
guys were talking about, right?
Medium to high.
If you're automatically going to make 20% off of whatever I buy as a meal or whatever.
I can be a great tipper,
No.
but I can also
You
not
can,
be.
you can be very, very generous.
I don't like that.
We were.
So the new Indian restaurant, or I guess it's not new, but the Indian restaurant over at Southlands does that.
I've heard of that
Um,
company before.
The hell is it called?
IWC. Yeah, right.
Oh my God, it's going to drive me nuts. I know.
You ask it a question, it'll.
I know, but I like to
spit out
use
an
my
answer.
brain, Dragon.
Nah, why?
I'm offended by that.
Why?
Oh, what's it called?
Why? There's nothing wrong with it.
I'm not.
Okay, frugal. You're frugal.
Value conscious.
Yeah, you're value. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'll describe it.
I never so monsoon. It's
See, this is the pressure I'm talking
decent food, but it's
Feel
like,
like my
just
on my
because of
clean
your
person,
policy,
the Christmas all
I'm not going to go back there because
Why no?
I
Hey,
don't
You'll double it. So if you paid her 100, you're giving her 200.
20% knocked
Wow.
off my.
And Mark, I was way off. Apparently, the trash person is getting 300 this year. 100 was off.
Your dad's is that your dad's schooling you?
Yeah, no.
300.
Yeah, I got a text 300 for trash guy this year.
300. Wow.
Jay is a big tipper, especially for people that work for us.
Well, it's really good that they handle all your trash needs. Some people have to deal with, like, you have anything outside of the 2 containers, it'll stay right there.
Oh, that's, yeah. Or you get an overage charge, and it's like $80, $150 easily.
That's nuts.
Your computer automatically adds it.
See, the $300 is cheaper.
Seriously, you're saving.
My cheapest, it wasn't actually cheap, but I'll tell my bachelor story when we come back. We went to, what's the name of that? What's the fancy strip joint down? Diamond Cabaret.
Platinum 84.
Platinum 84.
Never heard of that one.
I haven't heard of that one.
Is that in Las Vegas or here?
No, that's here.
Is that okay?
You guys know Mikey or you don't know Mikey? He's a good friend of ours. He's our IT guy for the show and stuff too. But I was in Vegas one time. This waiter just acted like he didn't even exist. Okay, so Mike tracks him down. Okay, I mean it was the worst service you could ever imagine. Mike tracks him down at the end and says, "Well, you must have better things to do." That
Word will treat you right at Done Right Home Improvements. DRHI.com.
Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
All right, 303-713-8255. This talk about tipping reminded me of something. I'm not proud of this moment, but it did happen. So this dates me back 31 years. It's the year Suzanne and I got married. We were in Colorado. We lived in, I think we actually lived in Littleton. Yeah, we did. I remember our Jack came over to our Littleton apartment. Our priest came over and wanted to talk to us before he'd marry us, stuff like that. So my bachelor party comes up right before the wedding. My cousins fly out. And my cousins say, "Oh, we got to bring you to a strip joint." So they look up and they find the Diamond Cabaret. And back then, I don't even know if it's around anymore, but back then, it was next to a fancy steakhouse. So you had like this fancy steakhouse and a strip bar. And I don't think I've been to a strip bar prior to that. I don't think so. So I had a bunch of ones. Remember, we're going way back. And we're sitting around and the girl comes up and I didn't really know how it works, but they basically do their dance. They got the pole. They're doing the thing. And then they come over and they basically pull their G-string over and you put $1 in. So I run out of dollars. Okay? I got a 5. So I'm thinking, there's no way I'm going to give the girl a 5. I've been giving dollars. I mean, that's insane. That's 5 times the amount I've been giving. But I figured it was a new girl that came up. They constantly rotate. So she comes over. I don't have anything to give her. So now I feel bad. I look in. I only got a 5. I'm not going to give her a 5 because it's ridiculous. So I came up with an idea that I thought was great. I tore the 5 into 3 pieces. But I gave her all 3 pieces. So therefore, she got actually more than the other women got, the dollar, right? I mean, this makes sense, right? At the end, which I didn't realize she did, she takes them out and she kind of folded them and threw them down and saw the ones that were tore. And she called me out in front of the entire little stage area, like, you cheap bastard. How dare you give me a part of money? And I'm trying to explain to her, but I gave you all 3 parts. You just got to tape them together. But live and let learn.
Mark, I think you should have just...
Well, I want to know what my wife had to say there, please.
If the gal is listening and remembers him, please call in 713-TALK. 713-TALK. Call him a big jerk.
I'm just glad you didn't say that you try to get change out of her G-string strap.
You put
That's
the
what
5
I thought
in.
too, honestly.
I
I know what was going to come up next.
Oh, my goodness.
I thought you were going to exchange it somewhere. I was just waiting for where.
Yeah. You know, how old are you? I just got to ask you.
I'm 20 now.
Okay. So you have or haven't been to a strip bar? I know his dad's listening.
His dad is listening.
I'll go out of the country here and there, so we'll...
Is that a big thing now for kids?
No,
I say
not
kids
really.
twice.
I mean, no.
It's expensive as
Probably
hell.
like fans only, or whatever they call it. I always get it wrong. Is it fans only or only
When
fans?
the internet is free, why go to a strip club?
I don't
That's
know.
so much worse.
And it's got to cost so much money these days. I don't even know what a typical, like it was $1 back in the day. What is it now? I'm sure you know,
At
Dimitri.
OnlyFans? So
No,
some of these-
I'm sure you know how much to tip a stripper. How much?
Oh, you know, I haven't been to a strip joint in a long time.
Okay,
but
okay.
It was $5
Scott, I'm
to
sure
go
you
back
know.
in.
Scott? Dollars, okay. Bo? Come on, Bo.
Last time I went to a strip club was my bachelor party 35 years ago.
Yeah,
I think it was 50 cents.
that's like me. Oh, 50 cents.
Where was that
Oh, it was at Kennedy $50.
In Canada. Get 50 cents. Get out of here. 303-713-8255. I love before the holidays. We get to talk about everything. But what's going on with this mail order issue, Cliff?
Yes, hello.
Yes, Cliff.
Mark?
Go ahead, sir.
Hey, I just wanted to bounce this off you and see if you had any thoughts.
Sure.
My wife and I recently, just before Thanksgiving, ordered a custom-made doormat off of some pop-up website. I think it was on Facebook Marketplace or something.
What did it say? I'm
World.
curious. What's the custom part?
Oh, it just had pictures of our dogs and our dogs' names.
Oh, that's kind of cool. So you would upload the pictures. They basically print it out on some kind of mat and ship it to you.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Or at least that's how it's supposed to work. So what happened?
Well, we got the mat, and I'm not complaining about that. But what has happened is, all of a sudden now, our address is being used for a fake company.
Oh, my God. Like what? And why do you associate it with that? Hold on. I've got a lot to unpack in that. Hold tight.
Now,
We've had that call before.
You know what's fun is when your kids, turn like 24, 22, and you find out all the stuff they got away with that you never knew.
Are you in your confessional era yet with your parents?
No.
Not yet. You got a few years to go.
Yeah, not yet.
Not a lot of confessing I gotta do with Jay. he's been there for all of it.
Cute.
Yeah, we found out all kinds of interesting things.
Oh, that makes me nervous.
K&H Construction, K&H Home Solutions, no matter what, they've been around over 65 years. These guys are great. Listen, the doors and windows they sell are absolutely unbelievable. The new Alpine windows made right here in Colorado for Colorado homes. You got a place up in the mountains. The energy efficiency of these windows is basically like drywall with great insulation. They're just like the wall. It's uncanny. If you want the best, I want you to call khwindows.com. You can check them out, khwindows.com, or call them at 303-421-7100. But if you're looking for the windows, the doors, the sidings, even roofs, give these guys a call. 303-421-7100. 888heating.com. I've said it probably 5 times this show. I'm going to say it one more time. If you haven't got their deal on the furnace cleaning for $45, you're nuts. If you have not maintained your furnace and it's running good, but you know it's dirty, you can actually look at it. They'll come out, they'll clean it. They're going to make it more energy efficient. They're going to get rid of all that dirt. And by the way, that's the number one killer of a furnace is that dirt. They're going to clean the inside, clean the out. They're going to spend 1-2 hours cleaning this thing, making sure it's good. They're going to slap a no breakdown guarantee on it. All for $45. They want to earn your business. I've personally known the owner, Garrett, for years and years and years, over 10 years. These guys are a great company, and they have great pricing, and this deal is just the best. Take advantage of it. It's new customers only, though. 888heating.com. Go there. You can schedule it right now or call and schedule them. 888heating.com.
You know, I get calls from 888 Heating.
What's that?
Like every day. Because I used them 4 or 5 years ago.
Yep.
And they must be going through their old customer list. Because I'm on the program with Fix It. And this lady calls every single day.
She actually calls you? I mean, leaves you a message?
Yeah. This is 888 Heating we're calling about.
Right. Did you ever use them?
I used them once, quite a while ago.
Was it good?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, they were great.
I've used Garrett so many times. He installed a kick-ass sink for us in our garage. So the other side of the wall is the washing machine. So he grabbed off the water there, and I have a hot and cold sink in the garage now. So when I use my power washer, I got access to that hot water for cleaning whatever.
And you don't have to worry about freezing or...
What's that?
In the garage?
It's insulated.
Our garage
is
yeah,
insulated.
like mine is. Okay.
Yeah.
Mark, my cousin Thomas and his wife had their baby a few days ago.
Another one?
That's their first. Thomas.
Oh, yeah.
So they had a boy. They named him Hollis. I love that.
H-O-L-L-I-S.
Hollis.
Hollis.
What a cool name.
What is that name, Hollis?
Never heard it before.
Sounds like a Texas, like on the ranch.
They are from Oklahoma.
The mountain,
They're not ranchy
country.
people, but
Okay.
From Okies from Muskogee?
that's where I'm from. Oklahoma.
We won't make fun of them.
Oh, you
My wife's
can.
family was from Tulsa.
Yep, that's where I was born.
Oh, really?
Yep. Was born in Tulsa, lived in Broken Arrow for a long time.
I've been to Tulsa too many times.
Oh. Yeah, I've only been back a handful of times since I left. Really only once in the last 25 years, but when I first moved back, I was homesick and went back a few
Do you know
times.
where Menopause is? You ever heard of that? Menopause?
It sounds familiar.
It's about 30 miles north of Tulsa. That's where they're
Is that towards Sand Springs? Sand Springs is west.
I've never heard of it.
Menopause. My brother lives
big
in
ranching community.
My brother lives in Sperry. So you've ever heard of Sperry, Oklahoma?
Who asked about the chip?
Mr. Henry did.
I accidentally gave a guy a $500 chip one time instead of a $50.
Oops.
Don't ask how that turned out, Henry.
It turned out horrible.
Why? Did you kiss your feet?
Did you want it back?
Oh, yeah,
I
I
meant to
wanted it
tip
back.
like 50 and accidentally gave him $500.
I gave him the wrong chip.
Was the guy
I was on a heater, man. I turned about $1,000 into somewhere between 11 and 14 grand quick.
Hi. Good. How are you? Okay.
flexible.
Anybody over?
No, just me.
Are you bringing? You're not bringing anyone?
Okay. Here, let me open a new
Bring your
note.
sister if you want.
Patrick.
I did ask her, but she's doing this poodle. She's
Top secret.
Misky.
It says, what were you drinking, Mark, when you
Right.
mentioned the chips?
UI.
When you mentioned the $500.
That story.
Top secret. If you
That
come
story's
to
top
if you come
secret.
to lunch with your brother, we'll tell you the story.
And it was an issue with Safeco. Good fight.
On Denver's talk station.
The station I keep it on.
630 KHOW.
All right, 303-713-8255, 303 Martino. Feel free to chime in on the conversation. This time of year is interesting. It really is. A lot of times, this time of year, we do have a lot of guests. Usually I have Talib in this time of year. In fact, Suzanne, see if he wants to come in tomorrow. We'll have a full house, but I'd love to see Talib in here. In fact, for years and years, I would always have Talib in this time of year. 303-713-8255. Now, we're going to see where this mail order issue goes, but Cliff, he ordered a mat, like a front door mat, wipe your feet on, a custom one. He paid for it, but now he's getting, someone's using your house as their business address, correct?
Yeah, we've been getting mail from the IRS and state of Colorado. They literally set up a business called Chen Lan Inc.
Why do you think it has anything to do with this mat you ordered, this doormat?
Well, two reasons. Ordering something like that is typically, we don't do that.
Yeah.
If we buy things, we usually buy it off Amazon or some reputable website.
Sure.
It was just a pop-up, and we thought, hey, just as a lark, let's buy this.
Yeah.
The other reason is the package came direct from China.
Okay.
And the name of the business is Chen Lan. So, I'm just kind of connecting the dots.
If you go to, just out of curiosity, if you go to Colorado Secretary of State, which I'm doing right now, how do you spell, hold on, I'm almost there. How do you actually spell that business? Spell it for me.
Chenlan, Chen Lan.
2 words or 1 word?
I believe it's 1 word.
Chen Lan. Let me see something.
Yeah.
Wow, there is one. And let me ask you this. This would be wacky. Let me look at here. Are you on Oakland?
That indeed, yes.
Look at that. Not only did they set it up, but they took the time to go to the Colorado Secretary of State and do it. That is so interesting. We have heard this. I mean, it really is a scam. We've heard this before, but I don't think I've dealt with this since COVID. During COVID, this was popping up all the time. The other thing that would pop up is these unemployment things. I mean, it was crazy. Any company I have owned, and that's a lot of companies, pre-COVID, I mean, they were all people claiming unemployment on companies that I shut down 10 years ago. I mean, it was crazy, and they were all coming to my house. And then we also had a bunch coming like this. I don't know what you can do besides reach out to the Secretary of State. And I'm not a big Jenna Griswold fan.
So let me chime in real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is this business listed on Google, or where are you finding this?
Well, he's just getting mail in his mailbox.
Okay.
So anything directed to Chen Lab, you're getting, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of an attorney I could ask about this. It's been so long since we dealt with
Maybe
it.
Brad O'Brien?
Yeah, let's see if we can get Brad O'Brien on. Because I honestly forget what the downside was, if there even was one, besides getting all the mail.
And what is this mail? Bills or letters from the IRS? What kind
He
of mail
said
is it?
IRS for sure.
that's
We'll ask
right.
him after this. Everybody hold tight.
Go with your gut.
Yeah,
I remember during COVID, we would get these.
I wonder if he could just go on and dissolve it on the, you know how you can file documents?
Yeah, but then you say under law, when you file that, you say under law that you're the proper person. But that's what I'm saying. I'm not sure what attorney I would ask, but maybe Brad O'Brien.
I want to look it up to see who filed it.
Because what they could do next is they start applications for credit cards. There's a lot of things they can do once it's
Registered agent
established.
is Land
business name Chinland.
And at the very,
intellectual.
on the second page of this filing, there should be
Say that
the
again.
name and address of the person who filed it. Yeah, who
Yeah.
caused the filing? Was it that
They
guy
used the
that?
caller's address.
No.
Yeah, but say
We don't,
his name
well,
also?
not that would
They
know
just
anything
use the
about
caller's
this.
address as
We
the
do have one,
registered
but it's
agent
really
address
just
and
for
is the
patent.
principal street address. Sure.
That is kind of nuts,
That
though.
is the caller's address.
Oh, you're not at the state.
This is the state.
Yeah, that's Griswold's site.
Usually when I get,
I love that her name is Griswold from Vacations.
Yeah,
I
okay.
look at the actual filings, because each of those filings has a.
Driving around in a family truckster.
Okay, let me go back because I was just at that. Here it is.
There's only one
Amended
document.
Pierce. This is what you're looking for.
I wonder when the business was registered.
Amended, restate, amend, dissolve, convert, statement of trade, statement of change.
Yeah, there's where he's from. He's from,
If I go back even one more, it's right here.
Lan Chen.
There's a lot of filings.
The village of
Okay, I'd love to know
Bama.
what you use.
Because I can actually, whatever screen I use, I access every single filing, and it says who filed it. Really interesting.
Well, this says who filed it was Lan Chin. Registered agent.
I think he
Lan Chin.
totally made up a city.
What did he say? Chinland?
Lan Chen
Lan Chin?
is the person's name, but then reversed is the name of the
And I'll
business.
show you the form that I was looking for.
They paid $50 to file it.
When was it filed?
Right after Thanksgiving, 11/28.
Oh, so it's brand new. Probably once they got that.
But you wonder what the benefit of that is anyway.
Well, then once the business, they might be able to get a credit card. But even that would be hard if they're out of the country. I mean, what are they going to do? Hang by your mailbox?
My screen has a filing history of documents.
Yeah, that's normally what I see.
And then here I can click on the document.
Okay. And I bet you it's all the same stuff.
And this is.
It's just the articles of incorporation.
No, here's a Chinese address.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the person who filed it is in China. Milu Hunan Oti.
Wow, you
Is
pronounced that. Whoa.
That's the city and state.
That's impressive.
And his name
still.
really is Lan Chen. He lives in Yujang Village.
I looked that up, though. There is no village called that.
So maybe it's
totally
something
fake,
different
of
in
course.
Chinese.
But somebody invested $50 into this, so they expect a nice payoff.
Or it's all bullshit and they live right here. In other words, they're not from China.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just to throw you off the scent.
I can buy that one.
I wonder if we can, I'll put, who wants to actually call over to Secretary of State and figure out how to kill this?
Hey, Mark, I can do another $199 gutter cleaning special for Martino. Yeah.
We'll hit all that coming back.
Sounds good.
Where they transported this shooter in a damn helicopter. What a waste of taxpayer money.
They should have transferred him in a coffin.
Mark, absolutely.
All these people out there saying, what a guy. I'm like, her mom.
The crowd security around it.
Oh, I was shocked.
2 helicopters. This is the
Imagine if he escaped. Has he been on suicide watch or no?
I don't think he wants to kill himself. He wants to make a name for himself.
Dissolving the business in Colorado.
Oh, the whole trial's going to be a spectacle.
I want to call them to see what their policy is on this kind of stuff.
You just can't walk. Anyone can't walk in off the street.
Oh, you don't have to walk in anywhere. I can do this from right now. I can file a company that's located at your
Well,
house.
you're right. Yeah.
I have $50 to do.
Oh yeah,
used to the old days.
Oh yeah,
I know
go to
exactly.
1610 Broadway.
I used to work in that building.
The Denver Post building.
No, because they're in the Wells Fargo buildings.
Oh, they are. Okay.
Yeah, it's 17th and Broadway.
Oh, I used to go there when they were still at
On the
16
fifth floor.
something.
Yeah.
I used to get 16 Broadway.
Okay.
So, all right, so give them a call.
You have to notarize something, don't you, to file for a
Nope.
business?
No, I did it all online.
No, nothing notarized?
Nope.
No proof of who you are? No fax number? How about EIN number?
I got that online too. So after I filed, I went to the IRS website. I was so shocked. It took less than 10 minutes to get an EIN number right on the spot.
Because the banks will deal with you about that.
Oh yeah, that's why I had to get the EIN.
So I thought you had to jump through that.
But it instantly generated a letter that I downloaded as a PDF on IRS stationery. And it says, here's the business name, here's the EIN number.
You could do it right on. It was only place you should do it is on the IRS site.
That's the only place I did it on. Yeah, and I printed out that letter and took it to the bank and opened an account.
Yeah.
That's what this Chen Lang, that's what he's doing with all this shit right now.
I didn't know it was that simple.
I don't know if you got an EIN. No. I know you can get one in a heartbeat. You can get it literally while you're doing it. But I mean, I don't know if this guy got an EIN. You don't have to have an EIN to have an LLC.
No, but you needed to open a checking account.
Yep, or a social. Yep, absolutely you do.
Mm-hmm. Then get a company credit card. Start depositing checks that you scammed people out of. So I'll give the Secretary of State a call, see what their policy is on. They must hear this.
There must be a way to get rid of it.
So I wonder if they have any insights on what the scam is.
Ask for Miss Griswold, Dimitri. She might be willing to go out with it.
When joining the conversation becomes difficult, use the talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app. Just tap, record, and send, all within the app.
Get out there and be heard.
To Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Welcome to the only show of its kind. We're here to solve problems, answer questions. You know what? It's right before the holidays, too. We're here to have a good time. Hopefully everybody's going to have nice holidays coming up, a Merry Christmas, all that good stuff. But if you do have a problem, you can reach us, 303-713-8255. We had a pretty interesting call we're going to dive back into. And we're going to get to the bottom of it, but someone set up a corporation, or at least an LLC, I didn't look at the exact thing, at Cliff's house, and it's on the Secretary of State. I looked it up. Sure enough, it's there. And it's a pretty interesting call. It's definitely, no matter what, it's definitely identity theft, for sure. But I also want to talk to our guest. Henry's been chiming in all day. Henry Bretz, Excel Roofing. I mean, these guys, they're the best roofer around. I mean, I can't say much more than that. The family has done so well for Suzanne and I. I mean, any issue we've ever had, and the only issues we ever had with the roof that we had put on is we wanted more snow guards, and they came out one year and put on heat tape and stuff like that. But they actually sold us a roof that's hail-proof. All my neighbors had claims in the last year or two. We had none. Everything bounced off it, Henry. I mean, literally bounced off of it. And what that allowed me to do is, of course, I saved some money on my premiums for insurance, but I was also able to raise my deductible because I don't worry about it. You guys did that roof on my barn, and you did that roof on our house. So, and the hail bounces off. Literally, both my neighbors had to have roofs done where I had no damage whatsoever. It's pretty incredible. But what these guys are doing right now is your gutter cleaning.
Yeah, so thank you, Tom, Mark. Really appreciate all that. We have been in business for 30 years.
That's incredible.
And
actually, in the roofing business, that might be a record.
Yeah, for sure. And when customers are looking for a contractor, they really need someone who's going to stick around and stand behind their work.
Oh, big time.
Because anyone will just come and install a roof for you, but who's going to come back when it leaks or if you have any issues down the road? That's really what you need in a contractor. And just touching on that gutter cleaning that you mentioned.
Well, hold on in there. I want to touch base on something there. What he's saying, and a lot of people don't realize this, they think these companies are in here. There's companies out of Texas, Florida, Oklahoma. They literally go where the storms are. They're called storm chasers. And that is their entire business model. So they'll come through 4 or 5 days after the storm and literally knock on your door and say, hey, we're doing your neighbor's roof or whatever. Whatever song and dance they have to do in order to basically get you to sign a contract. They might say, we'll waive your deductible. They might say this, they might say that, but their entire the entire scope of business they do is to follow the storms. So let's say they actually do a roof and, you know, it's not a bad job. It's just a normal job and the roof's done. And maybe you saved your deductible. When you do have a problem, the problem is they're nowhere in the state. They're wherever the hell the next storm is. They could be in Florida. You're not going to see them for any warranty issues on the labor. You're not going to see them at all, most likely, until there's another storm at your house. And we call them door knockers or storm chasers, and that's literally what they do. And I would say most of the large nationwide roofing companies, that is literally their business model. They follow the storm. That's it. They don't live here like you and your family live here. They're not here to come over and help someone if there is an issue a couple months later or even 3 years later. They're not here for any of that because they're not even in the state. That's why it's important to use somebody. It's like hiring a guy to remodel your bathroom that lives in Florida. It makes no sense. What's he going to fly out here, do it? 2 weeks later, one of the sinks is dripping. You think he's going to fly out and fix it? It's not going to happen. But I just wanted people to really understand how most roofing companies work.
Absolutely. And then as far as our warranty goes, there's a lot of companies out there. They'll get super nitty-gritty, try to deny warranty claims, all that kind of stuff. We really stand behind our work. We want to make sure that our customers are happy and everyone's treated fairly.
And one of the reasons you guys can do that is because your relationships with the vendors. And I mean the relationships where you buy shingles. I mean, my God, you probably buy more shingles than any other company in Colorado. So if there's an issue, these guys are like, hey, you know, we just spent a couple $1 million with you this year. You need to make this right for our customer. If it's a material issue, you know, if it's one of your laborers, you make it right, period. But yeah, absolutely. Where a lot of people don't have that. You hire, you hire Joe Blow. And even if he does live here in Colorado, he's got no pull with these companies. He might order $1,000 worth of stuff a year. You guys are spending millions. Keep going. Yeah. I keep cutting you off, but some of this is important.
Well, it's all good stuff. So I'm thankful for all the kind words. And while you're right, we do a higher volume. The reason that we're doing that is because we take care of each and every customer at such a high level.
Oh, your repeat business is remarkable.
And the way we have everything structured in our company is to make sure that every customer receives that quality, and that's really where we focus. And so coming into the winter here, a lot of leaves have been falling. We are offering a special just for Martino listeners, and if you call up, you have to make sure you let us know that this is the Tom Martino special. Yep. It's a $199 gutter cleaning. So the first story is $199, and then the second story is $299.
So I tell people this all the time when I'm doing your commercials. I use you guys for gutter cleaning. I bought a brand new, I don't even remember what it's called, gutter helmet, whatever it is, when we first moved in, because we have pine needles everywhere. I got 100-foot trees around our house, and the pine needles were getting everywhere. It was horrible. So I spent probably $4 or $5 grand with this company out of the Springs to come and install these on my gutters. Worst thing I ever did. We'd get a big rain or a hailstorm. It would go right over the gutters, and we would have these puddles everywhere. It simply didn't do what it was supposed to do. And then somehow the pine needles still got into the damn gutters, so it didn't solve that. Then when you guys did our roof at that particular house, you guys said, let's get 3-inch gutters. I got gutters now you can roll a tennis ball down. And those have been the best gutters I ever have, but I have you guys out twice a year to clean them. In fact, you guys were just out a couple months ago to clean them, and it's way better than any kind of gutter helmet or any kind of screen or anything you put on there, because it's done perfectly twice a year. And I'm a math guy. Think of the math. $5,000 for that. someone goes out, spends $5 or $10 for a gutter helmet kind of thing, they can have their gutters cleaned 2 or 3 times a year if needed for the rest of their life and never spend that much. And you guys come out, not only do you clean the gutters out, every downspout, every single one, you guys get up there, make sure they're functioning. I see your guys put the hose in there and make sure they flow all the way to wherever they're supposed to be flowing. If there's anything a little bent or anything, you guys make that right. I mean, it's just everything. There's no reason I would ever have a gutter helmet or a leaf guard or any of that stuff when you can have the gutters cleaned for $199 for you guys.
Yep. Just make sure you mention the Martino special, and we will come out there and get you taken care of.
303-761-6400. Now, this is such an easy answer. Why would they do that? It costs you guys. Talk about a lost leader. When you guys do my house, I want to say there's 4 guys up there, and it probably takes every bit of, 3-4 hours. I mean, we've got a big roof, but it takes a long time. And the reason they do it for that price is they want your business when there is a hailstorm. These guys can deal with your insurance company. They just do everything right. And one of the best things about Excel Roofing and what your dad set up years ago is that motto. You don't pay a cent until you're content. You don't pay anything. When the job's done, even if you're a cash payer, you don't pay anything till that job's done. And you can't get a better deal than that. As a homeowner, you're guaranteed. You're guaranteed to be happy with the job. When the job's done, you pay. Simple as that. You don't pay a little up front. And if a roofer comes knocking at your door, please never sign a contract, never pay up front. And if they did sign a contract with you guys, you never get paid up front. Before you guys start, if they want it out in a week, I guarantee you'd let them out. Oh, I changed my mind. You guys don't care. I mean, if you went out there and started the roof, that's another thing. But really, you guys set up a company, a roofing company, that is unlike most roofing companies I have ever dealt with in my 52 years. And you're absolutely right, Henry. You guys want that customer. You're going to go beyond. The special's unbelievable, but you want that future business. And I would guess a huge majority of your business is repeat customers.
Absolutely. That's a massive referral base for us, too. Just because we try to offer the highest quality service possible, and then in turn, it turns into more business for us down the road.
And then, of course, free inspections. If it's been less than, what is typical insurance, 2 years? How long do you have to file a claim on hail? Maybe 1 year? I totally forget.
It varies depending on the insurance company. Rule of thumb is about a year or so.
So 1 year, if you got hit last season and you saw anybody in your neighborhood, I mean anybody around your neighborhood, getting a new roof, and it's coming up on that year from that hailstorm, give these guys a call. They'll come out and inspect it. Don't call your insurance company, because Excel will be the first to say you don't have any damage, and you don't want that on your clue report with the insurance company. But what they will absolutely positively do is come out and give you an honest assessment if you did get hail damage, and if so, they'll step in and deal with your insurance company and get you a new roof before that time expires. Because if there's another hailstorm next year, and there's more damage, and they come out and find the old damage from a hailstorm over a year ago, that can cause some problems, can't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And the main point of our honest inspections is just we're not like these other companies that just try to get you to file a claim. You need to file a claim. You need to file a claim. We're not like that. We will only encourage the customer to file an insurance claim if we find damage, and we believe that it will get replaced.
Oh, my goodness, yeah. All right, folks, so really, Excel Roofing, 303-761-6400. Cliff, we've got some answers for you. I'm sorry I got off on that, but, Henry Bretz has been here all show, and honestly, people know we have guests, and we focus on our referralist guests when they're in. You know why? Because they're great people. They have better value than anybody else, and they're just honest, and we like talking about them.
Most people have more than just...
Kind of jumping around mentally a little bit. But.
You did good. You're fine.
You do really good.
Yeah, you do. When you're natural, you do better. When you sat there and thought about what you were going to say is when you stumble a little, but it's funny when you're just talking, you're natural as shit. That's purely just time of being on the radio, though. Fuller. Put up Fuller's number for me.
303-597.
K&H Home Solutions, Alpin Windows, they teamed up with these guys. These windows are actually made right here in Colorado. The energy efficiency, I believe, is better than any other window made or any mass produced. And they're incredible. If you live up in the mountains, it's like basically having that drywall with insulation. And that's how great your window is. And they're beautiful, too. I mean, the different colors. You really got to check them out at khwindows.com. The other thing, if you need new doors, my goodness, maybe an entry door, a patio door, they can do all of that as well. They're just super, super great people. They have been around, you ready for this? Since 1956. That's like 68 years ago. That is absolutely incredible for a contractor to be around that long. If you want that free quote, you've been thinking about new doors, new windows, please give them a call. Put them on the list. 303-421-7100 or khwindows.com. John Fuller, Fuller Law, he's a personal injury attorney, and he kicks butt. What do I mean by that? We've used him twice. Both times he got us maximum payout from the other person's or the at-fault person's insurance company. Every single nickel they had, he got. Then, at the end of the case, and we got the money, he went to the emergency room and the ER and the hospital, and he actually got our bills down a ton of money and put more money in our pocket. He negotiated our bills down from the hospital, put another 20 grand in our pocket. You want an attorney that understands the in and out of an accident and can maximize that claim no matter what. I promise you do. And that is John Fuller. John Fuller, Fuller Law. You can go to callfuller.com, callfuller.com, or 303-597-4500. That's the kind of number you put in your phone right now when you need it. 303-597-4500. John Fuller, Fuller Law. Now, last but not least, Red Rocks Roof and Solar. If you've been thinking about solar, there's no one better out there that I know than Brooke. And I'll tell you why. If you have a commercial property, there's a heck of a good chance she can get 95 to 100% of the entire new solar system covered. Maybe a duplex, maybe a quadplex. It's got to be commercial. She knows how to find the grant money. She knows the tax credits. Imagine that, a free solar system or next to a free solar system, and it's yours. There's no like strings attached. You need to call her up. And then if you have an existing solar system or a residential solar system that needs repair because whoever you used went out of business, you call Brooke. You call these guys over at redrocksrs.com. They can work and repair any system out there. They can add battery backups to it. They can do whatever you want when it comes to solar. And their pricing on new systems for residential is better than anybody I know out there. Everything's in-house with them as well, and what I mean is the salespeople work for them, the service techs work for them, the installers work for them. It's all in-house. RedRocksRS.com, RedRocksRS.com.
So for the home show, we also have the ability to get a room after for a cocktail party if you guys want to do a meet and greet.
You should we'll do whatever you guys want. It's not a big deal, man. When is it again? I mean, long as
I have it on my
long as we're here, I'm there, okay? I mean, there'll be no doubt about it. However you want to do it, I don't care.
I don't know if we can do remote there, though. That's the only thing.
I knew him. I got call it right on my phone. Yeah. I'll tell you what would be good, too, for you. Get us a crap load of tickets to give out on the air for the home show.
That'd be good.
Yeah, we have, like, Genesis will do that. We'll have quite a few that do that. I went down there one time looking for a scumbag that was selling tiny houses. Now he ripped somebody off.
Did you find him?
Yeah, I did find him, but they didn't show. In other words, I found the booth, and where they were supposed to be, they never showed. They literally didn't show.
Oh. Just an empty booth.
Yep. They paid for the booth. They paid for everything. And it's not cheap. They were putting a tiny house in there.
Yeah, those are not cheap. Those booths like 10, 20 grand.
Yep.
Yeah.
They ripped a bunch of people off, though. People were taking like 50% down, 30, 40,000, and never shipped to homes. So, I mean, they ripped people off. But I thought they were going to be there. They decided no.
Yeah, those home shows are not cheap. The actual like booth those things are so expensive. Like
it's worth it. You mean space?
Kind of.
Or like what you guys provided?
Yeah, just like the signage and all
Oh,
the
yeah,
logos
okay.
and stuff. Like a lot of those would be $20,000-$30,000 jobs.
We did a booth back 20 years ago for Lennox. I think it was like $2,000. I thought that was
Yeah, the home shows are expensive. I mean, it's okay for us. We'll do better in other marketing, but like it allows us to get our space in front of everybody.
So you're having a cocktail party?
Well, plus you get to meet your competition as well and other industry people.
Yeah.
There's one in the Springs. You guys do that one?
I don't know about that. We are going to do the one in the Springs.
Okay.
We're getting the full setup. It's a big pill to swallow.
We flew the helicopter up there one year to the one in the Springs.
Yeah.
It's so tiny compared to
There's
here.
the Denver one, the Colorado Springs one, Castle Rock. The Denver one's the big one. I'm pretty sure it's in the...
I like the hot tubs. I like checking out the newest hot tub bullshit.
No, we do everything ourselves, yeah.
It's still expensive. You said do all this stuff.
Yeah. And then we'll have our project managers work in the booth too. We got like one of the best spots as soon as you walk in. We're like the first vendor in there.
Oh my gosh, that's a great spot.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. 630 KHAL, an iHeart radio station.
All right, 303-713-8255. By the way, help at troubleshooter.com. 303 Martino, that number works all the time. But whether we're on vacation, whether we're before or after the show, you can call that number. You can leave a message. We might answer. We might not, but you can definitely leave a message. I promise you we'll get back to you. Same with help at troubleshooter.com, and it doesn't matter what the problem is. Cliff called in with an interesting one. All of a sudden, somebody, and it appears to be somebody from China, actually set up a LLC in Colorado at his home address, and you're receiving all kinds of mail for Chenlan Inc. And it looks like basically what's happening here is they're just trying to get a presence here. And once they get that presence here and that, they can probably get a credit card in your name. They can do all kinds of things because they look legit. They look like they actually are a Colorado corporation. But what I found is you can go to the Secretary of State, and there's a phone number on there, and you simply report them, and they're going to remove it altogether. But you better be on the lookout for other issues. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. We reported this to CBI and the state of Colorado, IRS.
Yeah, but you need to go literally to the Colorado Secretary of State's website and call that number on there and tell them what's going on, and they can actually remove it so it's not showing up. Because what happens is when people search for that business, let's say they're applying for a credit card or a lease or anything, whatever the hell nefarious thing they're up to, when they search it, people go right to Colorado Gov, just like I did, and you look legit because all the paperwork's filed and someone paid to file it. But if you call them up, they'll get rid of it. So when people go to check them out, it's simply not there.
You'll have to check with my wife and see what she's done at this point. I know we have reported it to the Secretary of State's office.
Okay, good.
I primarily was just wondering, are there any other steps we should take? What's next? We both have our credit frozen and have had for several months with all three reporting agencies.
Well, whatever credit card you used for that mat, I assume you quit using or replaced.
Yeah, we're going to cancel it today.
Yeah, well, you don't have to cancel it. Just tell them it was lost or stolen and send a new one. Just to be careful or to be safe. And locking the credit's a good idea, but I'm not sure how they would have got your social. I don't think they're intercepting your mail. I think they're using this to establish basically a business residency in the state of Colorado. And then they can sell other stuff, whether they're the mats or whatever, and they just simply look more legit. I mean, there could be a lot more behind the scam, but I mean, I can't find I can't find much on it. I know it happened a lot during COVID, but I have not seen this in a while. But this was rampant for quite some time, honestly.
Right. Yeah, I just wanted to run it by you guys to see if you had the sage words of wisdom.
Well, they already called the Secretary of State, they haven't done anything. In fact, Dimitri, would you mind getting on it? He's saying his wife might have called the Secretary of State, but it's still on there. As long as it's on there, it looks legit.
Yeah, I just left a message for Jack Todd. He is the press relations guy at the Secretary of State's office.
Excellent.
And I give him my phone number. I wanted to talk to him about what is his insight? What is the actual scam? Because I'm sure he's heard this before.
And check this out. Yeah, I'd love that. Or what are the different scams?
Yeah.
But Reed, you still have the information on the company in front of you. It's kind of funny. So the guy that filed it, his name is Lan Chen, which of course is, Chen Lan is the name of the corporation. And I can't pronounce this. Can anybody pronounce where he lives? Yin Yang Village, Bashushu Town.
WD has it. He can pronounce it.
Go ahead, WD.
Hey, hang on a second.
He's trying.
I I already closed that page.
Oh,
shoot. But
yeah,
right after the break.
it's crazy. And then it's from, I don't know. It's from China. That's the best I can tell you. It's from far away.
If I were the scammer, I think the next thing I'd do is I would file a change of address form with the post office for Cliff's address. And that will keep Cliff from figuring out the rest of the scam for quite a while.
Actually, you just said something. You should absolutely. Did you go to the post office, Cliff?
Yeah, we reported it.
Yeah, well, you tell the post office we are not, what is it, Ching Chang? What the hell's the name of it? I already forget.
Well, and also
that's not us. Any mail that comes in that says that, return to sender. It's not us.
I think that mail will have valuable clues on Ching Chang's current location and his intent. What I was worried about is that Mr. Chang is going to file a change of address form on behalf of Cliff.
What have you got from them? Besides, you said IRS stuff. Was that like an EIN number coming in? What was the IRS stuff?
The IRS was from the EFTPS, the Federal Collection Service for the IRS. And it was a PIN number. PIN number.
Yeah. Wow.
It's taxpayer ID number.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's definitely nefarious, but once again, I'm not sure. I think they're simply using you for a residence. I think that's it. I mean, I don't think they're literally going to be stealing from you individually, but man, I wouldn't put it past anybody. But I think they're literally making it look legit to the IRS and everybody that they're a Colorado corporation. I mean, it's crazy. So just to recap, basically make sure the post office, Colorado Secretary of State, and freeze your credit. I mean, that's the best I can offer with this deal. And then Dimitri, when you get a call back, we're going to follow up on what they found out.
Oh, I can't wait. I think it's going to be fascinating.
Hey, Deputy Scott, I got to take this break, but we got an update. Do you want to recap or do you want me to do it on the guy with the Mercedes?
You can do the recap. I'll give the results.
So this guy goes to a shop. We got this call yesterday. He goes to a shop. He claims they were just replacing his right front marker light. So they had to get in the car, they turn it on, they got to turn the wheel so you can access under that wheel and get to where that marker light is on the front. They replace the light, they charge him $30, hand him the keys, he gets back in the car. All of a sudden the car won't start. There's all kinds of problems going on with the steering column. And ultimately that shop looks at it and says, look, it's a coincidence. We didn't do anything wrong, but you need $1,600 worth of work right now. And he's like, wait a minute, I drove it in, everything was working fine. So ultimately he had it towed over to where, Scott?
Mercedes-Benz of Denver.
Mercedes-Benz of Denver. They repaired it, and we're going to find out if Mercedes-Benz of Denver thinks that the first shop did the damage right after this.
KHOT.
Anything?
No.
Pretty much it. Oh my God. I don't know why.
Yeah, because the caller had called his service advisor
and told him
and said, hey, the Martino show's going to call you.
Oh, so they got a little heads up.
Yeah, they got a little heads up.
And that guy came on the air.
Right.
What was his name? I forget the name. Tito?
Oh, no, that was Firo.
Firo, that was the name. That was the name of the shop.
Yeah, Firo Auto Repair or something.
Cameras were not working on them. Because the guy they called, what was his name? Fred? He was obsessed about running a mom video.
Yeah, no, it was Rick.
Oh, Rick, okay.
He still thinks that
Hold on.
Firo has it.
Open enrollment ends soon. Listen, no matter what current health plan you have, don't assume you're going to be automatically renewed. A lot of plans, and especially last year, went away. So you might not have health insurance unless you check. The other thing is you might be able to save a lot more money. You might be able to get more tax credits. You might be able to pay less each month. You might be able to switch plans because you found throughout the year something you didn't like in your current plan. But that's what the people at Integra Insurance will help with. It's health insurance made simple and, more importantly, smart. They're going to listen to you, what you're looking for, what your family needs, and make a decision and tell you all about it. You know, Advantage plans with Medicare might be great for some people, but they're horrible for others. The same goes with any kind of health coverage in this state. They've been doing this over 25 years. Like I said, they can help you with tax credits and cost-sharing plans. They can help you with Medicare. They can help you with supplements. They can help you with Advantage programs. But give them a call with any questions. There's no need to call these 800 numbers. You want to deal with someone right here in town we trust. That's Integra Insurance, John and Day Jones, 303-466-5500, 303-466-5500, or IntegraInsurance.com. Oh, you've never been to Lazy Duck.
You know, I did go to the one out at Southlands. It was before Joe's, Keanu's movie.
Oh, okay.
And we met there.
Oh, I remember
for
that.
dinner. Yeah.
I remember that now. That's right. It's just like that one.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Yep.
I didn't realize they were a chain or...
They're everywhere. They're opening one in Castle Rock.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
No, that was a nice place.
We discovered them in a different state. I don't remember where. Oh, I did in California during COVID. I flew out to buy that bus, and there was like very little open. And I ended up hanging out there. I ate dinner there, lunch there.
Huh.
I can't wait. It looks like they reached a deal.
Oh, yeah.
No details on it, though. Yeah, keep us out of it, right? They always do. Looks like they reached a deal there, Dimitri.
The shutdown.
Who reached the deal?
They're not telling anybody what the deal is. Boy, there's a shot you never see. Bernie Sanders and Elon Musk in the same photo. Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, they wanted a pay raise. The other thing, of course, they want to keep exempting members of Congress from Obamacare. That's just wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Higher levels of ethanol sales.
We need to bring back tarring and feathering.
You might not even know what that is.
Yeah, I know what it is.
Okay.
I wasn't ready to hear that.
Put it here in the U.S. during colonial days. Yeah. And for some period, post-colonial days too. To dip them in tar and throw a bunch of feathers at them. Yeah. And then dry them out of town. Which sounds like that. It's a good disinfectant for exempting yourself from everything.
Mark, do you got one of those cross-country vans? Those Revels? No?
I don't know what that is.
One of those camper vans?
No.
Mercedes Sprinter?
We got a big thing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
My dad
No.
sold the motorhome for one of those Revels.
I'd go nuts in something small like that. Ours is 45 feet long.
A bus.
Yeah.
It's a great bigger than
Our last one was 38 feet, and I thought that. All right, 303-713-8255. It looks like, wow, the power of Trump and Doge. It looks like there is a new bill they came up with. Of course, these people in Congress aren't telling us about it, but it is breaking news on CNN and Fox. The government funding agreement, if you don't know, basically, they had a bill all set up that was apparently going to pass, bipartisan, as they say, and then at the last minute, Elon and Trump basically blew it up. And I was looking through the original. It's kind of funny. You remember, we're talking about Congress people now, so they'd get a pay raise. That's remarkable, an absolute pay raise. And I didn't know this. Their salary hasn't increased since 2009, but Congress created a program in 2022. So a couple of years ago, you realize they can expense, while they're in D.C., they can basically expense all their food and lodging. That's amazing. So when they fly into D.C., they don't pay for food, they don't pay for lodging. That all happened in 2022. They make $174,000 a year, and they wanted a pay raise, where people in the United States, we're paying more for eggs than we ever have in my lifetime. So I think that's crazy. And the other thing Congress had in that bill, which I think is absolutely the worst thing, exempting members of Congress from Obamacare. That drives me insane. I have to go under Obamacare, or at least when he was there I did, or I'd actually get hit with basically a penalty. I think Trump the first time got rid of the penalty, but think about that. In Colorado especially, the plan has to be on the exchange, meaning Obamacare plan, meaning a plan where I have to pay for an abortion even if I'm a man. I have to pay for that coverage because they try to spread it out. But Congress, these moronic people we vote for that are up there, they exempt themselves from it. You know why? Because they can get a hell of a lot better coverage. A hell of a lot better coverage. They exempt themselves from Obamacare, and they have forever. And I guess a renewal to do that is up. And once again, they would not have to participate in the Affordable Care Act. It's crazy. They would actually get the same, and they do get the same if they want. And of course, every single one of them wants is what our presidents and other people get. They get to go to the nice health care, the kind of health care where you don't spend $6,000 out of pocket before anything's paid for, the kind of health care where generally your employer, the government, pays for every bit of it. They get that, where we get suckered into the worst stuff around. I mean, pretty soon we're going to be Canada if it wasn't for Trump coming in. But I digress on that stuff. It looks like they reached a bill. That shows you the power of what's going on. I mean, anybody have any ideas? You think those two things are going to be in the bill? Anybody? I don't know if they will be or not. Did you talk about that stuff this morning, Dragon? Did you talk about the government stop this morning with Brown?
Not really, no.
No. Did he think it was going to shut down, or you guys just didn't touch on it?
We didn't touch on it. We talked a little bit more about the medical stuff, like you were just saying, that, hey, they don't have to be on Obamacare and all that crap.
It's so crazy how they just waive themselves from it. I just find it so unfair. I mean, I really do. Dimitri, you look like you were saying something.
Oh, we were talking about these benefits that they confer on themselves that aren't available to any of us. what about their exemption from insider trading laws?
I think a little of that changed, but you're right. Pelosi and her husband and all these people, and Republicans, too. They all lived high on the hog, man.
Look at the percentage of these people that leave office as multimillionaires.
Oh, they don't leave any poorer.
Yeah, they don't. You can't.
If they leave, most of them just don't leave, like Biden.
Mm-hmm. Now, if they continue to exempt themselves from insider trading laws, I want them to post their trades in real time so I can duplicate them in my own account.
Yeah.
I think that's becoming a big business right now, is just following politician trades.
It is a big business. Okay, Deputy Scott, Deputy Dollar. Let's go to this Mercedes thing. You talked to Mercedes of Denver. First of all, do they think that the other shop broke it?
No, they don't.
They don't.
They do not.
Now, that guy swore up and down to us, the caller. I asked him that. What did they say? And he said, they said that the other shop did it.
No. I talked to Destiny, the service advisor over there. They replaced this key lock and sensor module.
And it's fine.
And it's fine.
So whatever broke wasn't due to a ton of stress.
No. Destiny said it's a common problem.
On that. And it just happened to crap out at the other shop.
Exactly. Yep. And then they ordered Rick an extra key. There was some programming charge.
He should have kept it. I'll tell you, honest to God, he should have kept it at the first shop. They were going to do all that for $1,600 because they felt bad. He ended up spending $3,200.
Exactly.
Because he thought they created the problem.
Yep.
What did he say after you talked to him?
Rick still thinks that the original shop, Firo, has videotape of the repair. And he said, I'm going to go after him.
Listen, man.
And I told him, I said,
I own 5 shops. I owned 5 Goodyears around town for a long period of time. We had some cameras around, but I would never have a camera that I can think of that would catch someone in the vehicle like yanking on the wheel or whatever he's describing. It's not, I don't think it's not like a camera you can go back and zoom in on. I mean, we're talking a camera that's outside the building over the parking lot. I mean, what's he expect to see off this? Plus, the guy told him we don't have it.
Yeah, and I told Rick, said, you asked him 4 different times during the call.
He said he didn't have it.
And he doesn't have it.
Yeah, I thought the guy was honest. He came on air with us yesterday. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't think there was any issue. But even when you went back to the caller and said, blah, 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 even the people fixing it say it wasn't anybody's fault.
Exactly.
He still isn't biting.
Nope.
God, how many times do we have calls like that, guys? Dimitri, you're the newest in the room. How many times have you dealt and found out that the caller is just absolutely upside down wrong, or they're fabricating something?
I'd say it's about a third of my cases.
It's crazy.
It's less fabrication than what they actually leave out. That's what I get a lot of.
Yeah, they just decide to leave something important out of the conversation.
Yeah, like the woman who was allegedly breeding the illegal dogs, the case that Bo worked, that really got
My God, what was that? Give me some breeding dogs. What happened? What was that, Bo?
She called into the show. She stated that her car was stolen, and the Adams County Sheriff recovered the car, and there were 6 puppies plus the
When they
mother dog.
stole it, was there puppies?
What's that?
When they stole the vehicle, were dogs in
The
it?
dogs were in the back of the car.
And then when they recovered it, there's more dogs?
No, it was just the original 6 dogs.
The car was never stolen. It was just there, and somebody called and said, hey, this car's been parked here for a while. So
Right, well, that's what she led me to believe. So I did call the sheriff, and the sheriff talked him under to be anonymous about it. He didn't want to give his name.
Sure.
She filed a false report. It was never stolen. The car was parked for at least 2 weeks.
Why'd she file? Why do you think she filed a false
I think she
report?
called us because she wanted us to call the Riverdale Animal Control and the sheriff to plead with him to try to give her those dogs back.
Oh, okay. So
So she
basically,
is-
these dogs were living in the car.
For at least 2 weeks.
Oh, my God. Well, she shouldn't have these dogs.
She shouldn't have any dogs.
No dogs.
She
That's
also-
crazy.
During the original call, she also claimed that she has no idea how her dog got pregnant. She also claimed that the stolen car was involved in a high-speed police chase and it crashed at the end of the chase.
And none of that's true.
Sounds
she
like
even gave a suspect.
Just pure lying.
Pretty sure she
Just
didn't even own the
totally lied,
car.
And I spent a lot of time on it.
Dragon just said she didn't even own the car.
Oh, she admitted to that, day before yesterday. It's not even her car.
You know, I found out the sheriff left me another message yesterday about it. I guess her brother owns the car.
You know, years ago around this time of year, Martino went to help this lady out on the news. It was either Channel 4.
Did you just say it was her brother that owned the car? Yesterday she said it was a friend of a friend.
Nope, the sheriff left me, I didn't even bring it up, but he left me.
She changed it again, Dragon.
Her brother owned the car.
Tom helped this lady out live on TV, Channel 4, maybe 7, I don't remember. It might even been Fox 31. But she had a pillow under her. She claimed to be pregnant and had no place to go. So he buys her a hotel room for a week. Remember, this is live on the air. It's around Christmas time, you know, they're doing this kind of story. So what happens is, the next day she gets a call from the manager of the hotel, and wait till you hear the end of it.
Now, if
the best.
She had a pillow?
Yeah, a pillow up under her.
Oh my.
And you guys caught her on air, live on air?
Yes.
The more I hear about
That was on air. Literally, he was on air saying, we're going to get you a place to stay tonight, blah, blah, blah. And then after the on-air segment, he went over and got her a hotel room.
I don't have to be as clever. I don't have to, find anything.
I kind of like it, though.
I like being relatable. I like
something that's subtle.
Right.
Something, her car had an issue, and Mom called a tow truck for her, and then an Eagle with police car rolled up on them.
Oh, yeah. Get out of here.
Get out of here. Car. We're going to get you a ticket.
Okay, hold on. Vestera Turnkey if you want to be a landlord, but do not want all the problems that come with that. You want to find the right property to buy and rent out, but you have no idea where to start looking. You're looking for VesteraTurnkey.com. These guys, Barry is great. He finds these pockets all over the country with a great economy and possibly jobs coming in. Something like when SpaceX moves in, or something like where someone's going to open a new distribution center. He finds these pockets where the economy is going to be better in a year, but there's lots of people and the economy is good at the time, but there's underpriced homes. He goes in, finds the right property for you, and basically you buy it, you own it. He gets a management company out there to run it for you. You collect rent, and whenever you want to sell it, as the price goes up and the equity goes up, you sell it whenever you want and put the money in your pocket. He's got some clients, listen to this, have invested $200,000-$300,000, well over $1 million now. Call him for all the details. We've known Barry for, many, many, many years, 20, 30 years. 303-888-3788, or go to VesteraTurnkey.com. That's VesteraTurnkey.com.
Can we leave?
What's that, baby?
Did he leave for the day, or he just?
You best be sorry about
It
that.
is warm in here.
What are you sorry for?
Holy cow! I'm usually freezing in this room.
Telling me.
You told me.
No, I think it's turned out.
I care.
Just put it dead center and it's off.
Well, why are you sorry about it to me?
You're out of here in 8 minutes.
You're confusing, Cal.
I know.
Brown turns it up in the morning.
Is Jimmy here yet?
Maybe it's cool after the, overnight. Who knows?
You're giving clients.
Hey, you're probably is this the right temperature?
No, this is really warm for me.
Oh, okay.
Not to go put a referralist T-shirt on.
I noticed when
Holy
I walked
cow!
in.
Terrific. But once I'm out there, I'm fine. It's just in here when I was out for a few minutes. I was like, oh my gosh. I have to. We have to
just
see
like you
this
did
movie.
Martino earlier.
About, I guess it's based on a true story. It's a
That freaking sucks.
It was great.
It was really not.
In the 90s and purposely injected themselves with HIV/AIDS
Why?
because they wanted to.
They wanted to prove it would kill you?
It said deliberately inject HIV to live at a government-run treatment home so they could create their own utopia. I guess this is based on a true story.
I have a hard time believing
I
anybody's
thought I heard it all
had
with
one. And where would
Dan.
they get a vial of AIDS? Where does
I don't
one
know.
buy
Apparently
one?
it's based on a true story, though. Las Freakas was.
I like the freakish part.
Las Freakas.
It's only going to be a minute
some
left.
blood from the infected person. They're called gift givers, and then the guy who wants that injection is called
The givee.
No, they have another.
No.
Bug chaser.
What are you talking about?
You've heard of
every
it.
week.
Oh, yeah.
Every Friday.
Not that story that you just mentioned, but I've read about the phenomenon. Just
2 hours prior is when networks come.
it was.
So this is right.
Yeah, it's really crazy.
Welcome to our world.
San Francisco hires obese body
Okay,
positivity.
I was dragging ass. Now I'm a little bit void.
She's an unapologetically fat.
I don't know why.
Here's another reason to use the United States Postal Service.
I used them this morning.
Pass? God, I hope so. I had a pulse. They didn't keep me.
You wonder why they're going broke.
They ding it for your ankle?
No, they don't do anything for my ankle anymore. I don't know these items here.
Where do you live?
I live in Lodo, but my post office is in Islands, and they accept Amazon deliveries for me. That's the post office. They put it in a locker for me.
U.S. Post Office.
They accept
1,000.
FedEx,
They got 2-3 beers. I'm like, oh, look, we're counting beers? Oh, yeah.
I'm not aware.
I thought you were talking hard out. What do you mean?
You sure it's not an individual franchise post office?
Oh no, it's a U.S. It's like
Because I
it's
wouldn't think.
dismal and drab, drab colored.
Because
in
my
there.
post offices don't even think of bringing a UPS send here to ship. I mean, not
Yeah, you
those
can't.
words.
Yeah, I can't ship UPS out of them, but I can receive UPS. And then they leave a key in my PO box, and I
Nice.
just go in my locker and get
Wow.
Amazon stuff.
Oh, yeah?
You got the extra special.
I saw she had a hat on.
You got a hat,
I
you got a shirt on now.
Okay.
Unlike the one.
I didn't see what the...
Old school frock.
I
Oh,
don't
good.
mind them. Mark has had problems.
They're better now.
They're better.
They were the worst ever. They're way better now. 100 times better. They got rid of the lady that was 95 years old.
Then we take 5 minutes and go, 20 minutes to find your package.
It got so bad, I talk about them on the air so much. The mail, all the time. The mail person saw my daughter getting mail one time and goes, "Are you Marc Mager's daughter?" He's always talking about us on the air.
You know, she was like 20 at the time.
You got to be careful. They know where you live.
Yeah, they sure do. She would
always drive the right way.
I listen to Dan Caplis.
With Dan Caplis. Afternoons at 4 on 630 KHAL.
All right, 303-713-8255. Don't forget, 303 Martino works on and off the air. Tomorrow's Car Friday. We have got so much going to be going on. We got Kevin, Jeff, Suzanne. Do we have Jesse coming down?
We sure do.
Oh, man, we're going to have a full house on Car Friday. You're going to want to tune in tomorrow. We're going to have a good show. And then on top of that, Dragon, I appreciate everything you do. Kelly, Deputy D. Let's not forget about our guest, Henry Bretz. Remember, that gutter cleaning, $199. You're not going to get a better deal. ExcelRoofing.com. You got to mention the show. 303-761-6400. Deputy B, Deputy Dollar, Suzanne. I'll see you guys real soon right here on the Troubleshooter Network.
Thanks for having us.
Will you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great
Follow
news
Tom
from
Martino
those who
at
know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to let
Tech writers have been so busy.
Was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new break you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-277-7310. 800-277-7310. 800-277-7310.
Tech writers have been so busy churning up endless stories claiming AI is about to take your job away. Here's why this is simply not true. 5 researchers decided to put this AI is taking over to the test with in-depth research. The cost of deploying AI makes it far more economical for your employer to keep you. Plus, it takes real humans to verify all the incorrect data that AI spits out. Do you personally know anyone who has actually been replaced by AI? I don't.
It's Kim Commando, Sundays at noon on 630 KHOW. We've become so much more than a fixed frequency from a radio tower.
Take your radio with you.
630 KHOW is now available on multiple platforms and thousands of devices. Listen to Denver's talk station from anywhere.
I stream online
at KHOW.com.
America, your children have an amazing superpower. That's right. They can help save lives by simply washing their hands. Just 20 seconds of thorough hand washing after they've coughed or sneezed or been outside can help fight against the dastardly spread of germs. Armed with only soap and water and hands, your superhero can protect you, your family, and everyone out there in America land. Amazing.